you should already know what this is. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. See, we're going to get down to the other stuff here in a second. But what I'm always trying to get everybody to understand is everything is vibration. So, before we do anything else, just vibe.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, it ain't perfect, but I don't mind, because it's worth it. Who really has the time at all? It ain't perfect, but I don't mind, cause on the surface I look so fine, but really I'm bugging, making something out of nothing. Yeah, as hard as it gets, cool, calm, and collected, holding my breath, this ain't what I expected, don't argue to death, pull my heart out my chest, the card is all on the table, I'm calling it, don't say it, I swallow it, when living off of borrowed time, often I'm on the fence, on the line, adding up what's on my mind, my feet on the clouds, head on the ground, yeah, we going down, bet you know me now, I'm treading water, I swear.
Let that Virgo moon perfect your expression. Let it heal you from the inside out.
Sure, I need more. Well, it ain't perfect, but I don't mind, because it's worth it. Is it? Who really has the time? And love. It ain't perfect, but I don't mind, cause on the surface I look so fine, but really I'm bugging, making something out of nothing. Yeah, it feel like a weekend on a Tuesday. I could move dates, I got something else to do, they always do, hey, if I do say, the do say with the homies like it's Kool-Aid. Me, I'm just trying to play it cool, J. Yeah, mind over matter, I'm purer than alkaline. Been stuck on album time, I gotta get out to shine. Fly on the wall, shit, I was bugging. Makes me like you getting withdrawal, I keep that coming, yeah. I'm treading water, I know. If I stop moving, I float. Ain't nothing new, it's
play it cool, baby. Play it cool.
Just vibe.
cool. Well, it ain't perfect, but I don't mind, because it's worth it. Who really has the time?
Just vibe.
It ain't perfect, but I don't mind, cause on the surface I look so fine.
This is Virgo Moon Vibrational Therapy. We're going to take just a few minutes to let a few people trickle in, and then we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. Now today, that means we're going to touch on the transits that might be affecting you astrologically. But then after that, we're going to get into the priceless top 5 most controlling placements in astrology. But first, we vibe. The knowledge comes naturally. So we'll get to the astrology and the numerology in just a minute. The vibe is the most important part. And we are officially coming into Capricorn season, and the moon is in Virgo. So, it's one of them days. And if you haven't smiled yet today, this is my personal invitation for you to do so immediately. And if you can't find a smile for yourself, please allow me to be the smile on your face. Because at the end of the day, all I am is the smile on your face. All I am is the motherfucking vibe.
Yeah. The world is so small till it ain't. Yeah. I'm building up a wall till it breaks. She hated when
Make sure y'all hit the like button as you come in my door.
I don't wanna keep you waiting. I hope I never keep you waiting. Yeah, I think I know it all, but I don't. Why you always at the mall when you're broke? Yeah, and I just wanna ball, maybe dunk, but I never been tall. Yeah, I might trip, I never fall. God knows I came close.
This is a
I know
Capricorn
I
season
probably need to
vibe.
do better. Fuck whoever, keep my shit together. You never told me being rich was so lonely.
One more
Nobody
time,
know
listen to
me.
what he's saying.
Yeah, yeah. The world is so small till it ain't. Yeah, I'm building up a wall till it breaks. She hated when I call and it's late. I don't wanna keep you waiting. I hope I never keep you waiting. Yeah, I think I know it all, but I don't. Why you always at the mall when you're broke? Yeah, and I just wanna ball, maybe dunk, but I never been tall. Yeah, I might trip, I never fall. God knows I came close. I know I probably need to do better. Fuck whoever, keep my shit together. You never told me being rich was so lonely. Nobody know me. Oh well, hard to complain from this 5-star hotel. I'm always in a rush, I've been thinking too much. But keep it on the hush, no one need to know, just us. That's really all it takes. We don't need nothing but today. The world is so small, till it ain't, till it ain't, till it ain't, till it ain't. I'm building up a wall, till it break, till it break, till it break, till it break. She hate it when I call, and it's late, and it's late, and it's late.
I don't wanna keep you waiting.
I don't wanna keep you waiting. I hope I never keep you waiting. I hope I never keep you waiting, waiting, waiting,
Welcome to this Capricorn season vibrational therapy. We're just gonna let a few more people trickle in and then we'll get down to it. That means we're gonna touch on the transits and elaborate on the aspects that might be affecting you. But after that, we'll get into the PrIcElEs top 5 most controlling placements in
Got
astrology.
a bad attitude, playing till I'm out of moves. No need for shame, I get more peace and slow speeds. Go beat the game, young control freak, it's cold in my veins. I'm below freezing, snow season made me. They know that I sold you my space. Don't wanna grow old, so I smoke just in case. She say that I glow below the waist, and the stroke is just so PGA. All I got is a little bit of space and time, trying shapes and lines of the world we day. Tomorrow may be right around the corner, but I swear it's gonna be worth it if I make it right. There's somewhere above you keep reaching up. That's really all it takes. We don't need nothing but today. The world is so small, till it ain't, till it ain't, till it ain't, till it ain't. I'm building up a wall, till it break, till it break, till it break, till it break. She hate it when I call, and it's late, and it's late, and it's late. I don't wanna keep you waiting, I don't wanna keep you waiting. I hope I never keep you waiting.
Before we get any further into the vibe, do you know how much of a moron you look like bringing up Diddy? You're saying the same thing that everybody else says about everything. As soon as anybody says anything about it, is it Diddy? Is it Diddy? Oh, that's so Diddy. Shut the fuck up. You know how much of a moron you gotta be to repeat the same thing that the next motherfucker said? Get some originality. That's how I know you have low-level intelligence. See how you do it? Your name is Los Edits Leo. Oh. As soon as you bring that shit up, you're a moron. As soon as you make a comment about my appearance whatsoever, I understand that you're missing the point. See, this is priceless knowledge of self. We are the Vibe Tribe. There are thousands of us all over the world, so we're not thirsty for subscribers. We're not hungry for attention. No. We're here to raise the vibration with knowledge and information. So we're going to talk about astrology and numerology and all types of stuff that help you understand yourself and energy better and thus raise that vibration. And it ain't going to be for everybody. So if it ain't for you, swipe up, bitch. Because as you come in on this troll shit, this dumb shit, this hating shit, this negative shit, you're going to separate yourself from this beautiful vibe that we have established. And upon doing so, either myself or one of my constituents, meaning my moderators, and there are lots of them. I mean, probably over 100. We're just getting started, so they haven't tapped in yet. But I will tell you, they don't play about me or this vibe. So as you come in on this dumb shit, you're going to be banned immediately. I'm talking about exiled expeditiously. And it has nothing to do with hate. That's what you're doing. This is about love. Like I said, we have a vibration to maintain. So if you want to learn something, you want to enjoy the vibe, you're welcome to stay. The rest of you, you'll be able to observe. You just won't be able to participate. And you did it to yourself. So you'll be all right. All right? So if we have anything else we need to say before we get into this beautiful vibe we are establishing, let's get it out of the way. What are we going to talk about? My teeth, my hat, which is flyer than anything you ever have on, my chains. Is that what we're going to do? We're going to talk about my weight when I'm probably more solid than you'll ever be. If I take this sweater off, his muscles everywhere. Why embarrass yourself by typing that negative stuff, man? I get it. I get it. You swiped into this or you clicked on this and you saw somebody that made you feel some type of way. You feel like I needed humbling, right? You thought it was your job to take me down a few pegs, so you want to type out some bullshit. No. Y'all people in this generation is funny as hell, man. I can't be looking for anything because I'm sharing knowledge. Remo YT999. I don't think you understand that. I'm just here sharing knowledge and spreading positivity. So I can't be looking for anything. I'm not looking for anything. I'm teaching. I'm sitting here in front of mine. I can't be searching. You swept into this. You have to be searching. So before we go any further with the bullshit, let's get all the playful shit out the way. It's Capricorn season. The moon is in Virgo. I ain't gonna play with you. I came to put in work. All right? So, I was gonna be on another vibe, but y'all aggravated the fuck out of me. And make a nigga go off on you. Hit the like button as you come in the front door. Because as I said before, we're gonna take just a few minutes to let a few more people trickle in while we vibe. And then we'll get down to the nitty gritty. Now today, the nitty gritty is gonna consist of us going through an energetic forecast. That means I'm gonna touch on the astrological transits that might be affecting you. But then after that, we're going to get into the price list top 5 most controlling placements in astrology. And you want to know why your gal been handing you rough because all you do is play PlayStation and ride around in her car? I'm finna tell you why. But for the rest of you, smile right now. Life is beautiful. Just smile. Don't get yourself into no bullshit. Don't disrespect me. There's no point in that. Let me find what vibe I'm gonna go into now. You can call me Fat Drake. Oh, man. See, you should be starting your own comedy channel and then people can come and accommodate you. Because I damn sure don't give a fuck. You hear me? I really don't give a damn.
I'm all the way to the top, and it seemed like a struggle, so I had to get.
I almost went there, but I ain't going there. Where do I want to go, though? It's Capricorn season. Let's go here, since it's a Virgo moon in Capricorn season.
Man, you know it's a trip how these nothing ass. Man, you know it's a trip how these nothing ass niggas and these bullshit ass broads always got something to say about the next man and his household.
What?
Unable to get on top of their shit because they so worried about everybody else's.
Listen to him. This is a Capricorn telling you what's up.
How these nothing ass niggas and these bullshit ass broads always got something to say about the next man and his household. Unable to get on top of their shit because they so worried about everybody else's. What he got and what he don't have and what they need to get. And if they emphasize their time on them, maybe they'll be a better person themselves.
That's you that talk about your homie behind his back, but you always with him every location he be at. That's you that be stealing from your mama, knowing she be the only one at your side, helping you through your drama. That's you selling crack but can't make no profit, cause you smoking it up and you just can't seem to stop. That's you that keep laying up without a rubber, don't wanna claim your baby, you naked-headed lover, that's your baby's mother. You a woman that's so deceitful, smiling as you do evil, making money to set up your
This
own
ain't vape
That's
smoke.
you throwing pussy at your
This chronic
homegirl's
smoke.
husband every evening. They're trying to convince her that he be cheating. That's you.
One more time.
And if they emphasize their time on them, maybe they'll be a better person themselves.
Vanessa, what's up?
That's you that talk about your homie behind his back, but you always with him every location he be at. That's you that be stealing from your mama, knowing she be the only one at your side, helping you through your drama. That's you selling crack but can't make no profit, cause you smoking it up and you just can't seem to stop. That's you that keep laying up without a rubber, don't wanna claim your baby, you naked-headed lover, that's your baby's mother. You a woman that's so deceitful, smiling as you do evil, making money to set up your own people. That's you throwing pussy at your homegirl's husband every evening. They're trying to convince her that he be cheating. That's you hate a woman doing better than you are, so you slash her tires and bust all the windows out of car. That's you that can't get over your ex-man, putting the problems of your previous relationship on the next man. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, just a shell of a man playing games with yourself. That's you, making the real women look fake, only hurting yourself with the decisions that you make. That's you, ought to be ashamed of yourself, just a shell of a man playing
This
games
is a Capricorn
with yourself.
Sun,
That's
Virgo
you,
moon, vibrational
making the
theory.
real women look fake, only hurting yourself with the decisions that you make. That's you, that beat your kid, cause somebody said he done something, but you don't even go see if he did. That's you, still living in your parents' home. You got a good paying job, but won't even pay for the phone. That's you, with that unattractive attitude. People don't wanna be around you cause you be ruining they mood. That's you, that's thinking somebody owe you something, ain't gonna be satisfied until somebody show you something. You rolling your eyes and popping your neck, cause you with a high roller, but homie only wants you for sex. That's you, think you the shit because your body is tight. What you gonna do if God decide to change that overnight? That's you, that can't stay in the woman's place. Hit a man hoping he gets you back so he can take his freedom away. That's you, that enjoy making people's lives hard, but when trouble come around your way, you go running to God. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, just a shell of a man playing games with yourself. That's you, making the real women look fake, only hurting yourself with the decisions that you make. That's you, ought to be ashamed of yourself, just a shell of a man playing games with yourself. That's you, making the real women look fake, only hurting yourself with the decisions that you make. That's you, that get up every night to go out and jack, but you reap what you sow, so don't get mad when it come back. That's you, that have been out committing all that crime. Now you're suicidal cause you gotta do all that time. That's you. Spending all of your money on beer and blunts and ain't got nothing on your bills come the first of the month. That's you. That don't care about how stupid you act. Man, I'm so glad I'm no longer living my life like that. That's you. Trying to fuck over people who work for you. Even with all of that money, ain't no peace on earth for you. That's you. Yeah, that's you that made your homeboys hate you. Can't go nowhere without a gun cause you're nervous by nature. That's you. And send them out of jail on the same charge. Get out and go do the same thing on the same boulevard. That's you. That's gonna end up in the funeral home. You bobbing your head, but I know you can't stand this song cause that's you. Ought to be ashamed of yourself. Just a shell of a man playing games with yourself. That's you.
That's a Capricorn sun, Virgo moon shit.
Only hurting yourself with the decisions that you made. That's you. Ought to be ashamed of yourself. Just a shell of a man playing games with yourself. That's you. Making the real women look fake. Only hurting yourself with the decisions that you made.
Now let's get back to the other vibe. I just had to let you know that's you. We're gonna get into the astrology in just about 9 minutes. Just vibe. Welcome to Capricorn season. Things could get serious.
I'm thinking maybe I should thank you. Oh baby, I should buy you another round. Cause you care and I swear that I'm here, but I'm there. It's getting harder to hunt me down. Get away to a place where the lake's such a great view. Leave the bank couple hundred down. I made it, but hey, once I build it, I break it. That might just break me down. And all I ever needed was somebody with some reason who can keep me sane. Ever since I can remember, I've been keeping it together, but I'm feeling strange. Get away when it ain't really safe and it don't seem right. But what's new, you get used to the bullshit. Screws, they go missing. Slightly, they might be, but
remind me, shit, I need to stay in line. You damn well are a great design. Hey, you, despite being an only child, say you need more of a family rounds. Turn these dreams into hand-me-down. Down, 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 down,
Just vibe.
down, down, down.
yeah, well, just being honest, my conscience ain't doing bad. Because I try to minus the problems that I attract. And half the time the wheels is in the back of my mind. Just keep on turning till the tire's flat and burning till the fire cracks. I do not lie, though facts may seem a little far-fetched. That's only cause I maybe make believe and full of darkness. When I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, walking, dropping change inside your empty guitar case. That's charity, I move carelessly, that's why I'm always tripping. I guess it's like electrolytes, you help me go the distance. Not too efficient, but the way it's always been. Until the day we have to meet again. Get away when it ain't really safe and it don't seem right. But what's new, you get used to the bullshit. Screws, they go missing. Slightly, they might be, but
Remind me, shit, I need to stay in line. You damn well are a great design. Hey, you,
That's vibe.
despite being an only child, say you need more of a family rounds. Turn these dreams into hand-me-down. Down, 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 down,
Ian Daniels, Ian Daniels, Ian Daniels. I guess that was supposed to be like a jab at sexuality, right? Well, let me tell you something. Here at Priceless Knowledge of Self, we don't give a fuck about sexuality. So those innuendos, they have no power here. This is about spirituality. You might learn something if you just shut the fuck up. The fact that you took the time to type that bullshit is a testament to your character. You understand? You could have just kept swiping. If something isn't for you, you could have swiped up. But if you are the type of individual that has to take the time to type out some bullshit like such, let's just get the vibe. It's one of them days, y'all. It's one of them days. Let's vibe one more time and then we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. Run them views up.
Dog was real up in here.
Because Mercury is still retrograde in Sagittarius. No, Mercury is not retrograde. It's in the post-retrograde shadow phase. Pardon me.
I'm just thankful the Lord bless me that I can see it 100 miles away. You know.
But Mercury is still in Sagittarius.
We living that high life. High life. High life. We living that high life. I'm tired of living fucked up, tired of living bad, tired of getting grandmama tell me when you gonna go to church, Chad. And I'm trying to live up to the image that she would want to see, but I got one foot in the street. And every week I flip a key. I never wanted to be a G, but niggas depend on me. It ain't safe to hit I-10, so niggas spin with me. And all the niggas that I went to school with, shot school with, went to the pool with, out there selling that white shit, pushing cocaine. Niggas whole existence depending on the game. When drop come through, it's like somebody cut my throat. Got $20,000 trying to turn it into 100 and ain't nobody got no dough. So niggas tend to smoke. Bad habits do exist. And this bitch thinking she can ease my mind by sucking my dick. Bitch maybe for a minute, but that shit never lasts. 1996 niggas died from laying on some ass. First Magic Johnson got it, then Easy E died. And you be wondering why your niggas out there smoking dry. I wish that I could tell y'all over rubber every time. But if I told you that nigga, you know that I be lying. And I've been fucking pussy since the tender age of 9. It's getting to be a full-time job just trying to stay alive. And crackers tend to smirk, offended by the weed smoke coming off my shirt. But still I put in work and fun for my folks. Cause where I come from, nigga, family just ain't no joke. Now DD get married and Edgar on the boat. Well, what about baby jokes? Tell that nigga selling dope. And you know I ain't lying, that's just how family talk. But what you gon' do when the devil poke you with his phone? And everybody sitting in the pulpit ain't saved. Most preachers just false prophets, fucking hoes and getting paid. I'm looking for that high life, high life. We living that high life. High life. We living that high life.
You only got one life to live, that's all they give us to do it. You can bullshit your way through it, or stay true, it can be complicated, cause niggas be getting shot in the cross. People and names get lost, the people and names get tossed. Streets will eat your ass alive. Take your possessions with pistols, bare hands, and knives. And nobody's surprised if somebody don't survive the dust to see the honest treacherous. How we was left here just to die on these streets that we be on. Motherfuckers sleeping on them corners that you be on. Probably cause society felt they didn't belong. Now who in the fuck made it this way for us? Got all these little niggas
Oh, no, not
selling
Heather.
that
I didn't hear Heather.
it ain't like they
My bad, Heather, hold on.
and that book keeps of American pie just ain't attainable. So how can I sustain a full life before death? Man, I'm left out here to make it by my goddamn self.
Are you still here?
Who gives a damn when you can't afford the turkey or ham?
What's
Living
up,
off
Kale?
the ramen noodles, beef jerky, and spam. Now that's sad, but that's the fact of life. All I can see in front of me is up for grab.
Come off this slam.
Cause poverty will push a nigga over the brink, over the edge, especially if you don't know your ledge. And so instead of being without, I'm hustling trying to get through these ungodly days, thinking of ways to get the fuck out of this maze. A man committed crime since a fucking crime pays. I'm going through a phase, you don't grow out until you a reason a motherfucker got to pro out. His body on the curb, disturbed and left with no doubt in his mind. But still sometimes he don't know why. He walking around just hoping to get one more try to make it. It's bullshit he going through, but yo, we got to take it. You can't fake it to get the high life.
We living that high life. High life.
My bad, Heather.
High life.
I actually blocked you for 5 seconds.
High life. We living that high life. High life.
Now, are y'all ready to talk about what's going on astrologically? I didn't want to cut it off, but I had to. Now, shout out to Beats by Bless Zone Out Music. He made all of these beats specifically for our sessions. I didn't want to have to do it. What's up, Anthony? Hey, y'all. Vanessa Marie did inform me earlier that they do have good coochie in Canada. I just thought I'd share. She let me know that. Not personally, but it was it was on some other shit. But yeah. So, for any of y'all that were wondering, I just had to let you know. They say they got it up in Canada. But, yeah, I can't even get into Canada. That's what's fucked up. I never know. I got felonies. I can't go to Canada. I'm a motherfucking convict. They ain't gonna let me in unless I got a work permit, and I ain't getting one. But yeah, maybe we can leave a trail of maple syrup and we can get one down here. You understand? But let's talk about what's going on astrologically. Because as I said earlier, what I'm going to do is touch on the transits and elaborate on the aspects that just might be affecting you. But then after that, we're going to get into the price list, top 5 most controlling placements in astrology. And yeah, yo man is on there with his funky ass. Not me, yo man. Because I'm not. Kind of. But yeah, let's talk about what's going on astrologically for real. Fuck your friends. Oh, that be right there, So, as we speak right this moment, the sun is actually sitting at 29 degrees of Sagittarius. But before this live session is over with, we will transition to 0 degrees of Capricorn. So yeah, let me tell you, there's gonna be this transition to where suddenly we're reminded of our responsibilities. Suddenly things get just a little bit more serious for whatever reason. You understand? Maybe you have this realization that you need to keep it real with your motherfucking self. While we're still here at 29 degrees of Sagittarius, the only problem is you can be over idealistic. Not in the same way as Pisces where you're delusional, but right here it's like, to be honest, things could never turn out as good as you hope they could. And I know that's jarring, but that doesn't mean they have to turn out bad. You just need to keep it real with yourself. That means you need to temper your expectations. That means you got to be willing to work hard if you do want to manifest this vision that you see. There's where the Capricorn energy comes in. It's grind time. Yeah, this is the motherfucking shit that counts. Now, I will say this. This is the time where people might feel emotionally stifled. Not in the same way as Capricorn moon, but in the way that it's just like, hey man, I ain't got time for that shit. I ain't got time to be crying. I ain't got time to be whining. I ain't got time for all that other shit. I might complain, but also that complain means that right there is the advent of change. So there's the one with that. And to answer your question in the chat, Nelson Diaz said, just a random question. Kendrick or Drake? Neither one of them. I'm not a big fan of industry weak motherfuckers. Kendrick is an industry dude. Drake is an industry dude. They're two sides of the same coin. No. Neither one of them. As far as that. They're both good artists and great and good rappers, but neither one of them. I'm not a part of a cultural wave. I don't do what everybody else does. I'm a grown-ass motherfucking man. So, I hope that answers your question. But yeah. I'm not involved in this pop culture bullshit. Just so we know that. And I don't like grown-ass men talking like messy-ass bitches. You feel me, Nelson? And that's what Drake and Kendrick both have done and showed us that they are. Messy-ass, girly-ass bitches that spread gossip. That's the truth. Dang, hold up. Let her make it, baby. Dire. Unless they be disrespectful, let her make it. We have people that need to be able to speak their mind about whatever. You never know what's going on. And when it's mundane things, there is something that's harmless, there's no point in taking the time to do that. But if they do say something disrespectful or derogatory or negative, then feel free to exercise every right that you have and put them out of there. All right, and you don't have to put them on timeout. Dismiss they funky ass permanently. Hide them from the motherfucking channel. And that goes to all of the other moderators as well. All right? You don't time anybody out. If they come in on any negative shit, excuse them permanently. That's how we play. It's Capricorn season. You think we finna play with you? The moon is in Virgo. You think it's a motherfucking game? Hell motherfucking nah. Yeah. It's time to get down to business. This is where you can see results if you're serious about your shit, but you got to be serious about your shit. That means you need to reach down and find that grit. Sometimes you need to grind it out. Sometimes you just got to tough it out. This is where, hey, you might get tested. Things get a little tough. It's the end of the year. People be broke. We didn't have to spend all this money to get broke. That's what happens for those people that celebrate the holidays, whether it be Christmas or Hanukkah or however you celebrate it. It's like you grind, and then you buy all this shit, and then you're broke because you end up doing too much, and you say, fuck it, it's Christmas. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? That's how you be like, fuck it, it's Christmas. You're doing this for people, or you're just enjoying yourself, and then your family came, and you're willing to have a good time, and you're enjoying them, and then you do too much, and you spend too much, and then you, at the end of the thing, you just kind of feel like, man, here we go. Because usually, by January or February, if you have small kids, They're not playing with all of that stuff that you got them for Christmas. Unless there's some type of video game. There's another video game out by then. I'm not talking about the system. I'm talking about the games. There's something else they're enamored with by then. There's some other trend that's trending that they didn't caught on when they're watching their kids' YouTube or when they're on their tablet. And so all of that shit pops up. There's something that's already gotten broke. Kids grow. And some of those clothes don't even fit. Some of them they didn't even like in the first place. One of the bikes got stolen. It's just like, that's how that shit goes. Now, the time comes and then rent is due on January 1st. Right? Rent is still due. That's how it goes. And a lot of the times people don't get, unless they get a small Christmas bonus from their job, a lot of people don't get extra money around Christmas time to be able to make things happen. And they're living paycheck to paycheck already. So how do they find a way to compensate for this culture that we've created right here? And then you also have to keep up with the Joneses because everything is trending and everything is competitive. And then when you're in Capricorn season, you can also see that Capricorn effects where people have this tendency to start looking at other people's situation, and they can compare their situation to other people's situation, compare where they are in their life to where the other person is in their life. And sometimes they can get down on themselves, but sometimes they can start looking down on others. So all of this shit right here just makes you say, hey, this shit better be worth it. And it can be, because in Capricorn energy, you make it worth it. That's what Capricorn does. As much complaining and negativity as some people might indulge in this time of year, people know they can make it worth it because that's what they do. They get down and grind. They put it in. All right? This is a time of discipline. Remember that. The discipline wins. Shit's crazy.
Perfect.
What's up, Mike Mountain? What's up, Alpha Ronnie? Now, the sun is still square to Neptune, so motherfuckers still are sensitive. They might not be emotional, but they're sensitive. Now, that is actually Capricorn energy in its fullest expression. A lot of people don't know that. Like me, myself, I'm a Cancer, right? I'm very emotional, but I'm not very sensitive. People say, oh, you're sensitive. Well, no, I'm emotional, but I'm not very sensitive in a way that it's not, you're not going to hurt me. But when it comes to Capricorn, it's like you touchy about shit. You touchy about this. You touchy about that. And so that's kind of how it goes right here. What's up, Pretty Red? How you doing? Alpha Ronnie has taken the time to type out my teeth twice. First of all, you think we're not aware of this? My teeth fucked up as, I mean, real fucked up. But I'm still killing you in every category. So is there anything else that you want to say to maybe you can take me down a few pegs? I want you to reach down into that shit, because that's what y'all want to do when y'all come in people's chats like that. You see somebody doing something, you say, you know what? I need to take this motherfucker down a couple of pegs. That's why you took the time to type that shit out twice, right? This nigga right here needs to be humbled, right? Let me humble this nigga. You can't, because it's in me, not on me. Please understand that I'm not listening to haters, but sometimes people have to be checked, and I don't always do it. Sometimes I don't indulge in it, but it's Capricorn season and it's Virgo moon, so I'm doing it. We in this earth energy, I'm letting you know. I'm letting you know. Type it. Type it twice because you wouldn't say it to me in real life. What's up, Dougie? Fresh, so clean, my boy. But yeah, all of that bullshit, it's no point. Everything is vibration. But yeah, the sun is square to Neptune. And that's sensitivity. And sensitivity is going to seem like a weakness until you make it your strength. And I'm not going to elaborate on that because we're going to be out of the sun square to Neptune tomorrow. But for today, understand that sensitivity is going to seem like a weakness unless you make it your strength. That sensitivity that you feel like might be a weakness can also be a superpower in certain instances. It can help you sense things. You feel me? It is sensitivity after all. Now, let's talk about the moon. Because as we speak right now, the moon is at 9 degrees of Virgo. So right here, it's little bitty stuff that matters. It's little bitty stuff that can bother you. It's the little bitty stuff that you notice the most. All right? There's also a certain nervousness or anxiousness that can set in that can end up fucking with people's digestive system when the moon is in Virgo. You might feel like your stomach and your digestive system is just a little bit more sensitive than usual. We play about it a lot, but this is truth. And it really comes from the frenetic energy that's been put into play with this right here. But when we're talking about the moon in Virgo, and you have to look at what the moon is about. You know, the moon is basically setting the tone emotionally for people. The moon is basically letting us know what type of vibe we're in. There's other stuff that is influencing that, but it lets you know what type of emotional vibe you're in. The moon has the strongest influence on Earth because of proximity and because of the fact that Earth and human beings are both 60 to 70% fluid. So you have to think about the effect that the moon has on that. So it definitely does have a dramatic effect on us as human beings, biologically, but also emotionally. And so the moon definitely sets the tone. The moon sign is the most important placement in natal charts and in transit. Wherever the moon is placed is going to have a dramatic effect on the whole world. There's going to be some aspects that are going on with some of these placements where it's not affecting everybody because it's not directly hitting them as far as aspecting their personal placements. But ultimately, in other ways, you're going to see that the moon, the sign that the moon is going to have an effect on your life in some way, form, or fashion. Mike Mountain, do I mean the fourth house about what? I see you keep keen on trying to correct me. So, what's up? What about the fourth house? But what does the fourth house have to do with the moon rules the fourth house? But what does that have to do with what I'm saying? I'm talking about what the moon is right now. Hey, we family. It's all gravy. But I'm asking, what are you asking about the fourth house? That way we're not miscommunicating with each other. What are you asking about the fourth house, fam? What's up, Nezzy? How you doing? But I'm saying, just a second, you said, do I mean the fourth house? But what you're asking, what do I mean about the fourth house? I'm talking about the moon and the effects so I can explain what's going on with the moon in transit. Anyway, we'll clear it up. The moon is in Virgo. And that is going to definitely have a certain effect on all of us. It's just like little bitty stuff can fuck with you. But it's also little bitty stuff that you can meticulously work on that can make things better. You have to take a really procedural approach to things. And your routine matters, your health matters, your mental health matters. This is where that mind-gut connection comes into play when you're dealing with the moon in Virgo. All right? And so there's just a little bit more sensitivity than usual in the way that your body responds to emotional things. It's not just an emotional response. That emotional response also triggers biological responses. All right? You might feel the urge to clean up and to organize things when the moon is in Virgo. This is the natural process of this. All right? Oh, okay, Dyer, that makes sense. You know, it's all love either way. But yeah, the moon is in Virgo. And the moon is actually square to Mercury for the next 3 hours or so. Then it'll actually move away from them being in that. And so this right here is the big picture and the details. And instead of them working together, they're in conflict with each other. It's like with Mercury and Sagittarius, people are focused on over the hills and far away, and they're looking at the big picture. Well, with the moon in Virgo, it's the little bitty shit that matters. You need all of the little stuff to be working out in order for you to be okay. And the details are definitely important. And so with this right here, it's just like there's a conflict with each other. The mind and the feelings are in conflict with each other. The mind is trying not to trip, and the heart is tripping, basically. And that's kind of what you see with this. And it's just like you're trying to chill, and you're trying not to let little stuff bother you, but little stuff is bothering you. And so you have to realize that you do have to take care of the little stuff in order for the big picture to be okay. Sometimes you're so focused on what's over the hills and far away that you miss out on the present moment. And you miss out on some key details that could make you have to work harder. And so instead of everything making us frustrated, you just need to understand you need to work smarter and not harder. And the only way to do that is understand that you take care of the little stuff, and that right there is in the process of allowing the big picture to take care of itself. All right? And so I will also say, with the moon in Virgo, sometimes people need things to be perfect, to be okay. And the truth is, things are not going to be perfect. With Mercury on the other end of this, it's like things are not going to be perfect, but overall, they're well. So you have to kind of find solace in that. All right? Find solace in that. Things are not going to always be perfect. And so overall, if things are well, sometimes you have to ride with that. And so those two right there are just operating in conflict with each other. And ironically, it's the mind and the heart. And that's a struggle a lot of us have on a daily basis. So yeah, that's crazy. So crazy. All right, hold on. Y'all have to bear with me for a second. I gotta see if my son's up. He's in the other room, but give me a minute. I don't want to just get up, so let me call him real fast. I need him to take the dog out. I don't know if he's awake yet. He's 15 and he's a grumpy Leo.
Hello?
Hey, are you awake?
Yeah.
Hey, in a few minutes, will you take Chief out?
Yes.
I'm live right now. And then you can eat something for now. When I get done here, it'll probably be 2 hours, but when I get done, I'm gonna cook us some stuffed pork chops.
Okay.
All right?
Right.
All right, talk to you in a little bit. But yeah, sorry. My baby growing up, I'm so big. And today's my daughter's birthday. She's 22 today. God damn. Shit. She's a Sagittarius sun, Cancer moon. 29 degrees Sagittarius. So she has all of that fucking Sagittarius energy. All of it. Too much of it. But yeah. My baby turned 22 today. I bet she's gonna be drunk. Yeah. I miss being 22. But anyway. Let's talk about Mercury. Mercury, as we speak, is sitting at 8 degrees of Sagittarius. And so, damn, I just realized that means the moon is opposite my moon and Mercury is square my moon right now. I mean, I feel okay. Does that mean astrology's not real? No, that means I probably have some other shit canceling out this, or I'm just dealing with it. All right, or I'm in a usual state of emotional confusion anyway. Right. Hey, my boy Beats. Now, I appreciate all of y'all. I would tell her, but I already told her happy birthday earlier. And she's probably unreachable at the moment. She lives in Texas, so we'll talk again later or something. If you're watching this, because she might be watching this, she does fuck around. Happy birthday, Vaya. We love you forever. Forever, 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 forever. Now, Mercury, 8 degrees of Sagittarius. I'll just say this. The truth hurts sometimes. This is where the 8th degree comes in with this. And I usually don't get into critical degree theory, but I'm going to use it this time. It's just like the truth fucking hurts sometimes. And not everybody wants to hear it. All right? But sometimes you can make things worse by just saying whatever the fuck is on your mind. See, Mercury is in detriment in Sagittarius, not only because there's hardly any tact involved, but also because even though Sagittarius is honest, that doesn't mean that whatever Sagittarius is expressing or perceiving is true. See, Sagittarius sees what it wants to see. And sometimes Mercury in Sagittarius is like, people be thinking they're telling it like it is, but they're really telling it how they think it ought to be. Yeah. I know you. I know you. But yeah, that's Mercury in Sagittarius. It is very intuitive, though. I will say that. But sometimes you're not going to learn anything other than what you know already unless you learn it the hard way. And maybe Mercury in Sagittarius wants people to learn things the hard way through experience, because you can't be told. So yeah, that's what that is right there. Anyway, sorry, I'm vibing. And then Venus. Venus is at 15 degrees of Aquarius. So here's the thing with Venus in Aquarius. When Venus is in Aquarius, people love freedom. Now, does that mean everybody's going to be breaking up and wanting to be free of their relationship? No, some people want to be free within their relationship. And some of us will never understand that concept, but other people will understand it to the fullest, and they'll respect it and they'll love it and they'll cherish it. To be free within your relationship. That doesn't always mean that you're involved in polyamory or swingering, or your partners are cheating on you and you're allowing it, or you're cheating on them, or they're allowing it. It just means, hey, I ain't got no handcuffs on you. You can come and go as you please. I'm so glad that you choose to be with me, but there ain't nothing that's keeping you here other than your own desire to be here. There is no obligation, and I won't resent you if you decide to do something else. I love you so much, I want you to be free. And hey, I'm so honored that you choose me in that freedom. Like, for real. Hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button yet. At the very least, hit it because I look good. Hit it because I look good. And I also said that For every $10 we, since it's Capricorn season, for every $10 we get in the super chat, I'm taking an item of clothing off. No, I'm just playing. All right, I'm gonna stop playing. I'm gonna stop playing. But if I was, I do have on 6 shirts. Chains count as an item of clothing. I have pants, basketball shorts, and drawers on. What's up, Occupy Mars? So it's gonna take a little bit. This Capricorn season, it ain't coming cheap. You gotta earn it. What's up, Kane? How you doing? But yeah, you gotta earn it. Do a little something strange. Cause I'm gonna be honest with you. Before I even go any further, Capricorns, out of all the other signs, they like to do a little tricking. They trick. If you've been in a relationship with Capricorns, sometimes you'll realize that they like to trick a little something off on you every now and then. They'll go out and buy you a little something, but there's something that comes along with that. They have expectations that come along with them buying you a little something. They will. Capricorns will buy you a little something. They'll spend a little something on you. It ain't like Virgos. Virgos go get you some hedge clippers or get you something practical. I know you're starting your business, so I went, you know what I'm saying? I went and got you this new shredder. Here's a scanner for your business. You understand? I got you a free membership to Zoom for a whole year. Nah, Capricorns will trick a little something off on you. They will. They'll spend a little something on you, get you a little something, you know what I'm saying? Get you a little outfit or two. You know what I'm saying? But it's also to let you know that, hey, you owe that. You owe that. Now I own you. It ain't like that's what the camera. Now you owe me, bitch. And never borrow money in Capricorn season or from a Capricorn unless you intend to pay back exactly when you said. And see, some people are like, well, that's how you should always be. I understand that, but some of us ain't like that. Some people have Gemini placements. So they be borrowing money and they just be saying anything to get the money in their hand. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what people don't understand. Sometimes some people say anything to get the money in their hand. Hey, can I borrow this? I'll pay you back Friday, when they don't even get paid on Friday. And sometimes I used to have to do that to my dad. Like my dad, when he used to be on crack, or he's still on crack. But when I used to deal with him, my dad, that's fucked up. He's a Capricorn moon now. But when I used to deal with him, he used to hit me up and say, hey, son, I borrow $30 till Friday? And I'll start to think, at first I'll be like, I'll be about to say yes, but then I'll start thinking like, wait, motherfucker, you don't got no job? What happens Friday? Like, how is money gonna magically appear for you Friday? When I get paid Friday, like, oh, hold up. But in me dealing with my lady, I do notice, like, my lady's a Capricorn, and in me dealing with her, it just be like, it's situations where I'd be like, hey, it's not anymore, because now I usually have more cash handy than she does. She makes a lot of money. She's a nurse, so it's not like she's walking around here broke. But right now, because of the nature of my business, I have more cash handy. So that's different. But back before I did, when I was just working as a bouncer, and there was times I'd be like, hey, loan me $200. I'm trying to do this. And I'll just be saying that because she's my baby's mom and my wife and my chick at that time. And so I'd be like, hey, shoot me this. And she'd be like, okay. But then I don't realize that, it's different for Capricorns. So I'll say, hey, shoot me this till the 1st. But then the 1st comes and it's like she'll bring home food for everybody but me. And I'll be like, hey, where my food at? And she'll be like, you owe me $100. Buy your food with that since you didn't pay me back. And I'll be like, what? And I'd be forgot that I owe her because I just said that in that moment because she's, at that time, it's like she's my chick. Like, just throw me this money real quick. But she's a Capricorn. So she don't play about that shit. Like, nah, motherfucker, you owe me $100. You gets no motherfucking food until you pay me my motherfucking money. I'm over there hungry than a bitch. She said, there's some sandwich meat in there. She said, the kids is my responsibility. No, I didn't make her mad. She just stands on business. I mean, I'm a Mars in Capricorn, so I'm kind of like that, but no, I play a lot, you know, and some of this stuff that I do play about, like, I just characterize, it's the way she used to be, and it's like a caricature, you know, I'm playing around, I'm just talking shit. But I mean, I'm telling the truth, but I am talking shit, kind of. It's like a fanaticized version of it, right? But ultimately, yeah, she's that type of person. She just stands on business. She's serious most of the time. And if she says some shit, she means some shit. So she expects that, and a lot of Capricorns are like that. She says some shit, she means some shit. And so she expects when other people say some shit that they mean it. If that means, if they say they're going to do this, they're going to do it. There's so many times also that she's like that. Like, she'll hit me up and say, hey, I don't have no money for lunch. Can you send me some money for lunch and I'll pay you back? And I'm not even paying attention to her paying me back because I love her. She's my woman. I'll just send her, you know, whatever she wants for lunch, send her the money for lunch, and then I'll go on about my business. But then when her payday comes, all of a sudden some money will hit my account. I'm like, what that? She's like, oh, that's that day you sent me that lunch money. And I was like, but you don't have to pay me back. She said, but I said I'll pay you back. And I was like, all right. So it does go both ways. She just don't play like that. She's a Capricorn. She's an Aries rising. So what she says, she fucking means that shit. And so she's just one of those type of people that are like that. So yeah. Yes, they do. Yes, you do. Some people are like that, Phyllis. You might not be like that. We'll be perfectly fine. If you owe, she does that to our daughter. If you tell her you're gonna pay her back, she expects you to pay her back, and vice versa. And when you say, so it's not like it's not we. There is no we. A lot of times you do that we. It's not we. It's you. And you can speak for you, but I'm the astrologer, so I can speak collectively. You can speak for you as what you would do because you have your own chart, your own placements. And that's perfectly fine for you to defend yourself. It's like, I'm not like that unless somebody, and that's fine. But Capricorns are as a whole are like that. They are. They are. And my lady damn sure like that. Damn sure. She don't play no games at all. But yeah. No, you operate in Queen of Swords energy. Capricorn operates in devil energy. Capricorn is the devil. If you make a deal with the devil, guess what? You're going to pay what you owe. You think that you operate in the Queen. I love you, and you're welcome. You're OG here, but you operate in the Queen of Swords energy. Capricorn operates in the devil. Capricorn is the devil. Capricorn is associated with the devil card. So you can't do that. Can't be both. I'm just keeping it real with you. I understand also. You operate in those things. You are not like that. You can speak for you, and that's perfectly fine. But see, some people, here's where you say, I don't deal with bullshit. You just don't. Okay, let me put it into perspective for you, beautiful. Right? For someone like my lady or some other Capricorns, people not paying back when they said they're going to pay back is bullshit. That's bullshit to them. When they say, so when you say, I don't deal with bullshit, I just don't. That's some bullshit that they might not deal with. A lot of them is people not, and no matter who it is. If I give you something and you say you're going to pay me back when you said you're going to pay me back. You know what I'm saying? That's how Capricorn gets down. Now, I'm only speaking on the collective because that's what my job is to do. If I knew your chart personally by memory, I would speak to you specifically, but I'm only speaking on the collective and what I've experienced through thousands of people that I've dealt with as Capricorns. And a lot of times I just be giving Capricorns a hard time. So yeah, I love you, Capricorn. How do we even get into this? I don't know how we even got off into this, but yeah. Venus is in Aquarius, trine to Jupiter though. So this is actually a good energy. It's friendly, it's cool. You know, with Venus trine to Jupiter, it's actually considered one of the luckiest aspects that there are. Now, Jupiter is retrograde, so this is where you can see the other ends of a trine, where a trine can be too much because it's automatic. So this is Aquarius and Gemini, right? It's an air trine, pardon me. And so, more or less, it's just like anything can and will happen, but that's a good thing. If you think that anything can and will happen, you can make anything positive happen for yourself, right? And if you're dealing with people and you care about everybody and you're friendly towards everybody and you're not taking anything personally like Aquarius and Gemini can be, it can be beautiful. Libra take things personally. Libra takes things personally. Libra is about personal relationships and personal interactions. Gemini, it's not personal. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. It's not personal, it's fun. Aquarius is like, it's cool. You know, this is cool. But when shit gets too serious with both Aquarius and Gemini, that's when both of those energies can be flighty, or they can be tricky, or they can be fickle. Aquarius is non-committal because Aquarius is committed to freedom. As far as Gemini goes, Gemini doesn't like to be tied down either. Gemini wants to have a variety of options, a variety of exits, and a variety of stimulations. And so with this right here, you're seeing both of these energies. Like, if you can stay versatile and open-minded, you can have or do anything. Pardon me. But yeah, if you can stay versatile or open-minded, you can have or do anything. And Venus is trine to Jupiter. This is not just cliche speak. This is the truth. The energy is there. If you can have an open mind, you can stay versatile, and you can kill expectations, you can do anything. Any fucking thing. But you can also, with this being retrograde, do too much. You can fuck something up trying to be different, switching it up. That's Aquarius and Gemini. You can switch some shit up and you can kill the goose that lays the golden egg because you don't know how to leave well enough alone. You don't know how to fucking stop. And so you want to switch it up and change some shit up. And so you might switch from a productive course of action to a non-productive one. Or you might end up getting yourself in trouble rebelling just for the sake of it. And there might be some situations where, like, I did all of this for nothing. Well, it's air. What did you expect? But you did get stimulated. You did learn. You were engaged. You understand? And so sometimes you're not going to see the tangible results fiscally that you thought you could get from a situation. But you do get to solve a problem. You do get to see something get better. This is air. All right? I can hear my son in there jamming. This is air. Air. Hold on, somebody messaged me. Oh no, we good. But yeah. Where else we want to go? Let's go to Mars. Mars is retrograde at 4 degrees of Leo. 4. So, if you're going to use critical degree theory, then the 4th degree is a Cancer degree. Or if you don't want to look at it as a Cancer degree, you can say the 4th degree evokes emotional responses in each one of the signs. As emotional as it can get for Capricorn, emotional as it can get for Virgo or Taurus or Gemini, but still emotional responses. And so when you have Mars at 4 degrees of Leo, you're going to have people having their ego so involved in situations and what they're trying to do that they're having emotional responses that can sometimes make people take situations into more dramatic effects than they have to. But in other times, it's like, hey, you know what? This is everything you need. This is the passion you need to really put your pride in a position to win. Hey, my fucking pride is involved. I have refused to lose. I cannot be embarrassed. This is how I approach it. But you could also be people, I got tongue tied. You can see people have foolish pride. You can see people have foolish pride with this retrograde. It's like, you're doing too much. You're putting a little too much on it, man. That's too much sauce. When you put too much sauce on some shit, it gets sloppy. Am I lying? I just had a Subway sandwich the day before yesterday, right? Really, I had a lot. I had a Jason's Deli, big-ass potato, a CP Ranch potato, and I had a 6-inch sub, and I had some Alfredo. And then I wonder why they call me Fat Drake. But, no, I'm just playing. But, we all know I'm swole. But, anyway, I got the sandwich, right? And when I was getting the sandwich, when I got to the end, I wanted mayonnaise, ranch, and sweet onion teriyaki sauce. And as soon as he was putting the sauce on, as I saw it, I was like, oh, that's going to taste good, but that's going to get sloppy. And so with this right here, with Mars and Leo, and this being retrograde, like there's going to be some situations where this shit really is helpful. This ego that's involved with everything, it's going to protect you. It's going to help you get what you want. But there's going to be other times where this shit just gets messy and sloppy because your ego is so involved that this shit is drama. Straight drama. And then also, for some people, if this retrograde hits them in a certain place, you can see where they might start struggling with a lack of confidence. And so that means you're getting in your own way. That lack of confidence is getting your own way. Then you have some people that put on a show. Instead of just doing what they do and popping their shit, they got to put on a show. Everything has to have a dramatic effect, right? Be an extra. It's too much sauce. Or as they say in New York, sauce. Too much sauce. But yeah. Hey, do y'all ever see somebody commenting on your shit on social media, like on Facebook or Instagram, and you look at the shit, and they always comment on it like, and that shit just gets on your nerves. As soon as you see them comment, and like they comment on everything, and you're just like, they haven't really done anything for you to block them, but they just annoy you. Like they're very presence of their name when you see it under your shit. Like, man, because they always say some whack shit, some stupid shit, or some out of pocket shit. Like, sometimes you just want to say, like, you ain't right, are you? But I mean, it is what it is. Mike 27 said, "What's my costume? Mafia, jeweler. I'm your daddy. Dressed up as your daddy." You hear me? I'm sorry you had panic attacks. Let the trolls be the trolls. They're just trolls. Troll can never fuck with an ogre. What's up, Sally? Now, we still got stuff to do. And I have to go make some stuffed pork chops with my son in a little bit. Some Gouda cheese and bacon stuffed pork chops, like with the sauce. Yeah. Make a pork chop sandwich, stuffed pork chop sandwich. And while we're on the topic of food, I just saw somebody was deep frying Hot Pockets. Y'all better stop doing that. That's big bag. Like, I be doing big bag shit, but deep fried Hot Pockets, when you put that Hot Pocket in that grease, like, you fucking out of line. I love you, but you fucking out of line. Do not fucking put no... Do not deep fry that Hot Pocket. Do not do it. Like, you gotta want to live a little bit. And while I'm sitting here thinking about it, like, but you know you would eat a deep fried Hot Pocket. But yeah, no. I cannot do that. I saw somebody make a post and I saw it. They say it's 2025 and they deep frying Hot Pockets, and I seen it in that grease and I said, man, fuck that. Do not, y'all better stop deep frying them Hot Pockets. Don't do it. That's for real. Hey, don't do it. That's like taking Crisco straight to the vein. Don't do that. That's like getting a syringe and say, you know what? I don't even give a fuck no more. And taking that shit and just, I want it extra thick. No, I don't want the vegetable oil. Give me the grease. Don't do that, y'all. Y'all niggas deep frying piece of roast. That grease will make me sick, though. I have a sensitive stomach. Not just because the moon is in Virgo, but period. I can't handle a lot of grease. That's the one thing my stomach cannot process is grease. A lot of grease will... Oh, hell no. I can't do all that grease. I will be sick as a dog on all that grease. But yeah. Now, back to the transits. Mars is in Leo. You might see people overcompensating. You might see people overdoing it. You might see people who seem a little overconfident. Or you might see people who feel like other people are overconfident, so they want to humble them in their motherfucking chat. You know what I'm saying? People like you. Y'all out here deep frying pizza rolls and hot pockets. I mean, I've done some crazy stuff though. In my high days, wait, these are still my high days. Oh, I'm still in these days. But back when I was really wild and out, I used to work at this bar, and I used to before I was a bouncer and and I ended up running the bar and being one of the managers of the bar. I was I was the bar back and the cook first, right? I got hired to be a bar back and a cook, and then thereafter, I ended up being the bouncer, and then a head bouncer, and then the all of that other shit. Because as a bar back, they had pussy ass bouncers, and every time there was some shit going down in the bar, the bouncers wouldn't do shit. Me as the bar back, I had to jump over the motherfucking bar and go over there and break the shit up. So it got to a point where like, nah, you are your security, you're head of security, and so it came to that. But anyway, I forgot what I was even saying. Oh, I used to be sitting in there, and they have all this food. You be a cook, and some day on the slow days or in the afternoons when the bar is real slow, you be high in there. You just sitting there. I'm like, man, I'm gonna make everything. And so I'd make some really extravagant deep fried bullshit when I was in there. But yeah, that shit's out of line now. I can't do that. But yeah, Mars is retrograde in Leo. This means there's just really, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When these planets are retrograde, there is some things that can be awry, but really all it means is that it doesn't mean that it's a completely different energy than it was when it came over it direct. I think sometimes that's a misperception. Actually, when it's retrograde, it's just coming back over these placements again. You get what I mean? It's just coming back over some shit it's already been over, and it's spending a longer time on these placements. And it's already Mars. And Mars is Mars, and we try to look at everything from a different perspective. So, to be honest with you, Mars is and always will be a malefic. Plain and simple. Mars is and always will be a malefic. It's helpful. We need all of the energies, but it's a malefic. It can be a functioning benefic if it has the right placements, but it's still a malefic. It's still Mars, right? There's still some conflict and danger that comes with it. There's energy, there's passion. There's lots of stuff that comes with Mars. It's fucking Mars, right? But when we're looking at Mars here and you see Mars retrograde in Leo, you just kind of see where the ego is extra involved. It's spending a little bit more time in each one of these degrees. So each one of this, it's making it even more dramatized. You get what I'm saying? And so something that's already dramatic, something that's already a little extra, a little bit bold, it just makes it like that. All right? All of that shit right there, it just makes it that much more because this energy is coming back into this energy it's already been in one, and it's also spending longer time in each one of these energies. So it's not really like the opposite energy, and that's what a lot of astrologers do is they'll say, well, when this is retrograde, it's going to give you the opposite effect. It's not doing that. It's not reversing, and all of a sudden it's the opposite effect of what Mars in Leo normally does. So that means Mars is going to act like Mars in Aquarius then, right? No. It means it's going to be extra fucking Leo because it's coming back into this. It's already been here. And it's also spending a longer time in retrograde than it normally spends here. And so as it gets there, it allows for irritation. And Mars can do that. It allows for irritation. And so the ego can get irritated here, or the ego can be too involved here. You gave too much sauce on it. Now you're being too extravagant. Now this shit is extra. You understand? And then when you have people who have 12th house placements or people who have those lacks of confidence, even if they have Mars in Leo or something like that, then this is where one of those things where it's going to be even worse. It's like that lack of confidence is really going to be prominent because it's the only thing in your way. You could be doing something. You could be really succeeding. You could be really achieving. But your lack of confidence is the major thing that's in your way. You feel me? Sorry, the vibe always takes over me for a minute. But yeah, that's Mars in Leo. As far as aspects, Mars is coming back into that opposition with Pluto. Pardon me, I'm trying not to cough. Mars is coming back into that opposition with Pluto, and it's still trying to the North Node. And because Mars is retrograde, it is now applying once again. Instead of it separating as it was before, it's now applying. All right. And so that just means it's moving closer to those aspects. It's coming into aspect instead of separating from an aspect. And so with Pluto moving direct, and the North Node doing what the North Node does. Now, the North Node does move retrograde, but Mars is going to move quicker, so Mars is still applying. This speaks to the physics of how they move. See, when you're doing applying and separating, what it ultimately means is the quicker moving astrological body is approaching aspect with the slower moving one. All right. And so even though the nodes are retrograde and Mars is retrograde, Mars moves quicker. And so Mars is going to approach that trine with with the North Node before the North Node can escape away from it. So they're going to come into an exact trine again, basically, is what it means. Is they're coming back into an exact trine. That'll happen within the next 2 weeks, right? Mars will come into that exact trine with the North Node. And so ultimately, that's just another chance for you to empower yourself and encourage yourself to take a step forward in some area of your life. It also might embolden you to make something a problem. But sometimes you need to confront things. So Mars in Leo right there, it might make somebody confident enough to say something or speak up on some shit that they normally don't. But sometimes you need to. You need to speak up. You need to stop being so over-conciliatory. You need to stop being so easily influenced. You need to stop giving in to other people all the time, and you need to do what's best for you. And so now that your ego is so involved, hey, you're in a mode where you're looking out for you. It might seem selfish to other people. It might cause some conflicts, but you are looking out for you, and that is a good thing, whether it seems like it in the immediate moment or after effects of that or not. You understand? I had to get in there and give trill on y'all. Now, Jupiter. Jupiter is at 14 degrees of Gemini, retrograde, until February 5th, right? And so we got about 6 weeks of Jupiter being retrograde. And so Jupiter is going to actually move pretty low into this Gemini energy. But what this ultimately means is, with Jupiter being retrograde in Gemini, you know, when you're stimulated for so long or stimulated so much, what happens? You get overstimulated, right? When an energy is already tricky, this is where it can get chaotic. This is where situations can get sloppy. This is where people are going to be messy. That's where there's so much information being conveyed and put out there that there's going to be some misunderstandings. There's so much being said that there's going to be some stuff that's contradictory. There's going to be some stuff that people don't pick up on. There's going to be some stuff that people miss. So there's just this energy to where this shit seems chaotic. And then with Jupiter square to Saturn in Pisces, it's like all over the place, basically. And the anxiety then kicks in and it becomes a problem too. So there's this really nervous, frenetic energy right now. Actually, as we speak, we have what I would call a mutable mess. We have the moon in Virgo. We have Mercury in Sagittarius. We have Jupiter in Gemini. We have Saturn in Pisces. We have a mutable mess. That shit right there is all over the place. And so when you see Jupiter here and it's square to Saturn in Pisces, you know, people might be thinking too much. People might be worrying too much. So for this to be effective, you can't be doing all of that. Plain and simple. Phyllis sitting here talking about Virgo, man. Yeah. But yeah. Hey, I know I didn't get to do it last year, but starting after the new year or after I do my sister Joali and she comes on here, which we've been advertising for months, but she gets so busy. But after I bring Joali on here, then I'm going to start bringing the tribal council members that want to come on. We're going to start going live together with one of y'all at least once a month and just doing our thing and featuring you and talking to you and interviewing you and vibing with you in one of these sessions where we're together doing our thing. And I'm really looking forward to that. So just so you know, we will get to that. I have figured out how to do it. We will get to that, but that's only for the tribal council, for the people that are members of the channel. And I need y'all to go join the membership. I need that love and I need that support. We should have hundreds of members. It's only $4 or $5 a month. Go join. Look for the join button. Go join. All right? Support it. It's the least you can do before I get mad and knock all this shit over. I'm a Cancer. I will do it. My moon is in the 5th house. I do throw fits. I'm just gonna keep it real. I do throw fits. I try not to these days, but I am capable. I was one of them little babies that when they, you know, the little babies that throw themselves back real hard. And you're like, man, this little motherfucker crazy. That's how what type of little baby I was when I was little. You fucking give me what I want, I'm fucking throw myself back hard than a bitch. Ah! Y'all know them kids though, right? Them little fucking toddlers that just throw themselves back real hard and ah! But yeah, I hope y'all good. I hope y'all good. Yeah, I'm one of them. Heather Nielsen said, what's today's top 5? Top 5 most controlling placements. But yeah. I just had it really awkward. When I threw myself back, it just had a different effect because see, I never want to tell y'all this, but when I was born with my adult penis already formed. And so the rest of my body just grew into it. It was like, it became more and more proportioned as I got older. But when I was born, yeah, just trying to let you know, I was already born 11 inches, strong and long. And the rest of me just grew into it after that. You understand? I was very self-conscious. You know, people changed my mom didn't let everybody change my diapers, and you shouldn't let people do that to your kids anyway, but she just didn't want to have to deal with the possibility that there could be some publicity that came from it. We just wanted to live humble existences. And so, yeah, it was fucked up, man. Yeah, my dad just was side-eyeing me all the time when I was a little kid. But yeah, we didn't want the papers to get a hold of it, and we didn't want us to be a fucking sideshow freak. And so luckily, when I started getting older and I started, you know, becoming 10 and 11, it started looking more, you know, presentable. But yeah, being 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, it made you very conscious when you were in kindergarten. It's just different. Yeah. It's just different, man. But to be born with an 11-inch penis at birth, you don't know how bad they wanted to get me out of that maternity ward. I've heard stories. when I went to my christening, they said, we might just need to baptize him now. Let's dip him. It was fucked up. As soon as they got me, the preacher got me in his hands. He said, we can't just give him the cross. We got to baptize him now. Let's dip him. And that's, you know what I'm saying? I actually learned how to swim in the baptismal pool. It happened. Now, let me also say, what's up, Kaya? Hey, I appreciate you. But yeah, it happened, you know. George Jenkins, you can't speak on my afflictions, first of all. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know what I had to deal with. It's, I mean, I forgot what it's called, but it does have to do with some type of hormonal imbalance. But yeah, I was born with that hormonal imbalance. I was born with my already formed adult penis when I was born. And so when I say I had to come out breech, it wasn't like everybody else. It wasn't like everybody else. And then, like I said, when I was really young, I had to really deal with some extra alienation and the feelings of what's going on with me, you know. That's what ended up happening. You know, when I used to crawl, I had extra strong shoulders. That's why my traps in my shoulders are so strong now. Is I had that extra thing I was crawling with when I was little, and I couldn't move as fast as the other kids because I had to get used to it. But as I got older and I started to mature and everything started to grow, I really came into my own. When I came into middle school and high school, I was legendary. There was rumors. There was rumors. When I moved high schools, right? I was on one high school on one side of the town, and I moved high schools. This actually did happen. This is actually true. I moved high schools in Abilene, Texas, from Abilene Cooper High School to Abilene High School in Abilene, Texas, right? So I moved from the south side to the north side. And the day that I arrived at that school, I only knew one person, my cousin Terrell. And as I arrived at the school, when I got to lunch that day, there was just a line of girls that were coming up to our lunch table and asking who I was and asking was it true what they heard about me, and you know what I'm saying? I just had my cousin Terrell answer all the questions. You know, I was really not interested in any of them. They all seemed like ghetto riffraff to me at that point in time. But it really happened. But yeah, it's really happened. Now let's get back to the astrology. Just so we know, Mars is in Leo, though. Yes, Vanessa, they were riffraff. But for real, no, it's not a scene. It's not a scene. It was a scene when they saw me. I'll tell you that. It was a scene when they saw me. But it also set me up for a lot of abusive situations. Seriously, it set me up with a lot of abusive situations from the time I was 14 years and 15 years old up. It just had grown-ass women looking at me in some type of way. They was looking at me some type of way, like. It happened. They used to call me Ruined Roderick. Ruined Roderick. Now, when in the black community, that's what they mean, ruined. When they say ruined, That's what they mean. When they say that nigga ruined, they mean he working with a monster, and it's ruined him. It's ruined his soul. The rest of his life is gonna be ruined. The rest, like his relationship's gonna be ruined. He's gonna be making motherfuckers crazy. He's ruined. His ego is ruined. He's like, how could you ever get away from that? So much of your ego becomes tied up in that cock. Becomes a part of your darkness. Yeah, that's how they talk to us in our community, Sally Baker. They say stuff like ruined, and you'll be fine, and then your parents just say some stuff like you're too goddamn fat for your grades not to be good. Or shit. That's what your black granny will say to you. You're too goddamn fat, or you too goddamn bad to be so motherfucking scary. Get your ass in there and go to bed. Stop turning them motherfucking lights on. It's the type of shit you had to deal with in the community. What did David Beltran say? Hold up, what David say? Hold up. Oh, no, that was out of line. Yeah, that was out of line. He took that far. He took that too far. I had to go. He took it too far, didn't he? There has to be some civility. What's up, Eden? But yeah, seriously though. That shit crazy. But yeah. Eden PrIcElEs. You can't be my biggest fan if you ain't paid me no money. I'm gonna be honest, I love you, but you can't be my biggest fan if you haven't gotten any type of service from me, or you ain't paid me no money. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I got kids. Can't be. I have fans that really invested in me, but I do appreciate you coming. I have some real fucking investors. I have true supporters. But yeah, yes, I'm okay. I'm smoking cannabis. Now back to the transits. Saturn is at 13 degrees of Pisces. I'm not going to go into my whole soliloquy about Saturn and Pisces and life and karma being a process. And look, the fact of the matter is there's just some shit in life that you can't ignore, avoid, or escape. This is what happens with Saturn and Pisces. This is where the stuff comes up and it feels like, oh, this just got real. Oh, all of a sudden your delusions got destroyed. But it's not that, like, you shouldn't have been fooling yourself in the first place. It's like, it's always been real. That shit's always been a delusion. You always been tripping. It's just now you can't hide from it. There's certain shit, whether it has to do with how you feel about somebody or a situation or a certain shit inside of yourself, behaviors, addictions, things like that, that you can't ignore, avoid, or escape, because now it's a problem. Now it can kill you. Now you have health issues. Like, you can't keep being scared to go to the doctor. Your ass got to go, because now you actually have some stuff going on. Now you're forced to be around somebody that you have a problem with, so you have to confront why you have resentment towards this person, or why you even are resentful in the first place. And so that's how that shit goes right there. All right, Sally Baker, we love you. Arrivederci. But yeah, Heather Nielsen, you wouldn't hurt nothing. You know what I'm saying? What you would get is that thing superbly and supremely put on your motherfucking ass. That's what you'll get. Served. You ain't hurt nobody's feelings. You get that pocket hurt. And I'm not talking about your purse pocket. See, why y'all got my Leo placements acting up? I'm fixing to have to cut this live off. I'm trying to do a top 5 here and be spiritual. Shit. I'm out here trying to live my life right and healthy, and people are out here actually deep frying Hot Pockets. Can't believe y'all. Deep frying Hot Pockets. Do you know how good and delicious that sounds? But how just knowing that you're eating that is how fucking deadly. Like how suicidal you are. Like that shit sounds so fucking delicious. But in it sounding so delicious, it also means like you're saying, you know what, fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. Just shoot the fucking Crisco right into my vein. That's what they say. But yeah, y'all niggas are deep frying Hot Pockets. Uranus is at 23 degrees of Taurus. More than all the financial stuff, look, the world is not a stable place. The financial market is not stable. You have to figure out how you can be a stable person, and that means something different for each person. So you need to figure out what that means for you and find a secure place to operate from. That means get into a mindset that's adaptable enough that everything that happens to you is not a devastating experience. All right? All right? Just do it like that for yourself. But yes, I ain't eating no horse meat. To me, horse meat don't even sound good. I don't like anything exotic at all. But yeah, it's where we at. I think the Zodiac Killer is the Bubbler. What an appropriate name to be here. Shout out to the Bubbler. We had a lot of trolls today, so we're going to have some good numbers today. So I'll deal with it. Heather, I did not expect you to say that. Like, of all people, I would never expect you to... What the fuck? No. That means you out there petting them horses and you thinking in the back of your head like, I bet this motherfucker make a mean steak. Like, hell nah. Heather, no. 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 Hell nah. Well, there's nothing beef that sounds good deep fried, to be honest with you. But yeah, that brings us to Neptune. Neptune's at 27 degrees of Pisces. Neptune's gonna be at 27 degrees of Pisces for a while. So Neptune being at 27 degrees of Pisces is actually as Pisces as it gets, because it is ultimately believed by most people that 27 degrees is a Piscean degree. And I've been using critical degree theory just for today. This is not something I always do, but just for fun, for today, I'm using the knowledge of critical degree theory when we're coming with these. And so this is the depths of emotion, the depths of illusion, the depths of confusion. And where do we get it? We get it from the culture that we ourselves have created for ourselves. Like, we live in a confused culture. The world is a confused place. Like, everything is fucking bullshit. And then there's so many projections and expectations that reality in its own right is convoluted. And that means real ain't even real no more. And so the only thing you can do is trust how you feel, because actually that's the only thing that's real. You heard me? 10 degrees is a Capricorn degree. Ultimately is what they would say. Or it's just a serious... You know, the 10th degree is like a serious place for that. But yeah, I ain't eating no horse. I ain't eating horse. I ain't eating none of that wild shit like Nutria Rat. I ain't eating raccoon. I ain't eating squirrel. I ain't eating turtle. Like I ain't eating that shit. That shit don't sound right to me. Not for me. Uh, I do want. I've had a lot of foods, but I've never had lamb chop before. And so some people, I've never had lamb. And so for me, I've seen lamb chops on TV and on movies, and that shit just looks good. So I do want to try a lamb chop one time. But other than that, uh, yeah, I don't like a lot of exotic stuff. I like venison every now and then if it's cooked appropriately. It depends on what it is, what type of venison it is. But I have eaten venison before. Sometimes I do like the unique taste that venison does have. Um, what else do I like? I'm trying to think. Uh, I can't think. I'll think. But there's nothing really exotic that I like. As far as seafood, I like shark steak. I don't know if y'all have ever had a shark steak, but shark steak is so good. Shark steak is really good. But yeah, I do want I want to try lamb. And like uh as far as I forgot what I was saying. Frog legs are disgusting. As far as lamb, like I also, because I grew up in the church and you hear him say I slaughtered a lamb, and that's like when they gave him the best food is when they gave him a lamb, when they did a lamb food for him. And so something that it just in me about that thing's like I don't know why I've never had lamb. I've had plenty of opportunities probably, but I've never had a lamb chop. I wouldn't order it at a restaurant. I would have to have somebody cook it for me and it looked delicious, and they would have to offer it to me for me to eat it. Shark steaks is delicious. I don't like frog legs. I don't like bear, the water bearer. I've actually had bear stew one time, or I had bear something, but that shit was really big and meaty and fatty. I didn't like that shit. And I guess maybe it was because my mind knew it was a bear. So I wouldn't eat bear meat. I wouldn't eat a carnivore. I would never eat a carnivore. Just so we know. I would never eat, like, to me that just doesn't sound right. Eating a carnivore like that is like, no, eating bear is like eating a dog. A big ass dog. So I wouldn't do that. I don't like seafood. And so I like fried shrimp. You know, when it's peeled correctly and the tail's cut off and done what it's supposed to do. I like fried shrimp. Bears are omnivores, but they're also meat eaters, so I'm not eating any bear. A bear is a fucking dog. Same family. So no, I'm not doing that. Damn, that hurt. I do like shrimp, but I don't like frog legs. I don't like any of that fucking down south nasty ass shit y'all eating. I ain't eating no alligator. I've eaten a frog leg before. That shit's disgusting. I don't really like crawfish. I used to catch my own crawfish and eat them when I was a teenager. When I was like 14 or 15 years old, me and my best friend Eric used to go down into the creek with bacon, a couple packs of bacon or some bologna, and we would catch crawdads or crawfish all day long. And so we would catch crawfish in the creek all day long, and we'd come home and catch with probably like 100 or 200 of them, and we'll boil them, of course, and then after we boil them, we'll cut the tails out, saute them. I didn't eat the brains and all that shit. I'm not with that shit. And I'm from Texas, but I don't like that shit. I like gumbo a little bit, but I don't like okra. And gumbo can be spicy. I can't deal with spicy stuff. But yeah. But I don't like crawfish a lot. Lobster is all right. Vanessa Marie said lobster ain't good. It's just the dipping sauce that's good. I feel you, Occupy Mars. I felt like that's why you said crawfish, but I ain't eating that shit. In East Texas, where I lived before I moved here, they love crawfish. All my people over there love going to crawfish bowls. At the bar I worked at, they did crawfish broils and all that shit. But yeah, when I was right there by Shreveport, when I was in East Texas before I came out here, it was something else. So, yeah. Back to the transits. Neptune and Pisces, we have a culture that we've created where it's really bullshit. You know, even when you come to spirituality, which is supposed to be a spiritual experience, your relationship or your developing understanding of the divine, right? Right? That's what that revolves around. But no, it's become a fad. It's a hustle now. Spirituality is just a part of the fucking game. It's just a part of the culture. It's just a fucking hustle. Instead of this being something that it's always been, a journey for you to help understand yourself and energy and love and your purpose and all of that stuff. Instead, now it's just a fad. It's just another hustle. It's just another part of the culture that we're in right now. Crystals, Reiki, astrology, numerology, tarot, even though they've been tools of divination for so long, for eons. We now have turned this into a joke and a fad like everything else. You know, you can't trust anything you see. You can't trust anything you hear. The only thing you can trust is how you feel. You have a main line to the divine that resides inside you. You got to tap into that. You got to utilize that. You got to let your inner compass be your guide. That's the only way you're going to get through is let your inner compass be your guide. But, yeah. Hold up, Vanessa said, a very cheeky Italian man. What? Where do we get to that? Who's a very cheeky Italian man? Oh, her grandfather. My bad. But, yeah. That's Neptune. Pluto's at 0 degrees of Aquarius. Things are changing. Things have changed. Things are going to keep changing. And it just starts with the change of mindset. It's Aquarius. People forget that this is an air sign. So it starts in the mind. As much as this is something that plays out collectively, it starts in the mind. A revolution starts as an idea. You understand? A rebellion starts as a feeling. You take those things and you create something new from those. So we are in unprecedented and revolutionary times. As a matter of fact, as scary as it is, next year is going to be a 9. And I was looking at the 9. Oh, this is good. People are like, oh, the 9. No, a 9 means endings. Now, we've seen lots of 9 years. We've seen lots of 9 years. It happens every 9 years or sometimes every 12 years. But being in a 9 year, when we also have Saturn and Neptune both transition into Aries next year and then the next year, and then we have all of this global stuff, it does make me worried. And this is not fear-mongering, it's just me looking at it. I feel like it's concerned. And, you know, I was listening to one of my favorite astrologers, Steve Judd, like 3 years ago. And I remember specifically him talking about, hey, at the end of 2025 and going into 2026, we are going to have Neptune and Saturn both going into Aries. And I'm looking at that as a great reset. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't say it's the end of the world, but he's like, something is major happening right there. He said it himself. And I was thinking about it myself here recently. And it came into my awareness like, damn, we're here. Neptune's at 27 degrees of Pisces. It's retrograded back into 27 degrees. This time, it's going to get to Aries. Well, even though it seems like it's been a long time that Saturn's been sitting here, Saturn is at 13 degrees, and it actually got to 19 degrees this last time. It went from 0 degrees all the way to 19 degrees, and then it retrograded back to 12 degrees. Well, guess what? We're now direct again. So we're going to go from 12 degrees, however 12 plus 19 is, right? So we're going to get all the way to 2 degrees of of Aries, with Saturn. 2 degrees of Aries. And then we're going to retrograde back into Pisces. But then in 2026, Neptune and Saturn are both going to come into Aries for real for that last time. Uranus is going to be in Gemini. And we're going to come into some times like We're coming into some times. 2025, it's the end of something. It's the end of something. Dougie Fresh So Clean, you say, do I listen to any astrologers nowadays? Yes. Yes, I do. Like I just said, I listen to Steve Judd. I forgot her name, but I was actually listening to a lady about numerology yesterday. I was in a creative day yesterday where I was writing this top 5 that I'm going to get into, and I was doing some other stuff creatively to preparing for stuff that we're going to do after the New Year's. I kind of use Thursdays on Jupiter Day to be creative. And so as I was doing that on yesterday, I started looking at stuff. And I started listening to some numerologists and astrologers, and I was listening to some Vedic astrologers about my Ketu placement. I was really looking into my past life stuff and karma is what I was doing yesterday. But in doing that, I came to some spiritual determinations that I'm going to share with y'all here soon about reincarnation and past life stuff that we kind of get caught up in this life that's not helpful. But I also was listening, and I just once I was listening to her, I was like, damn, like I'm great at what I do as far as numerology, like I really am. But when I was listening to her, like she just had an intricate and awesome presentation of what it means to have the expression or life destiny number 3, which is what I have. And the way that she articulated and the way that she had an understanding of also all of the insecurities that came along with it. See, you don't hear that very much. Even myself, when I'm going through the numerology readings, I give a pretty brief description. You know, I'm not going to elaborate on a numerology placement most of the time for more than 4 or 5 minutes. But she had a whole 30-minute presentation about one number, the expression number 3, and she has it for almost, but she was so intricate and she was so spot on about everything as far as the insecurities and the problems that came along with it, to where the point was where I rewinded it at least 50 times. It took to listen to that 30-minute video, it took me 5 hours yesterday because I kept rewinding it because I was doing other stuff, and I'm like, no, I can't miss this, I can't miss this, I gotta listen to this, like this shit is relevant, this shit right here is real. And so that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. But yeah, she was an amazing numerologist. So I definitely listened to other astrologers and numerologists, just not very much. But usually when I'm not working, I'm trying to entertain myself. I'm trying to desensitize myself from other people's energy, and I'm trying to read. So yesterday just happened to be one of those days where I felt like putting something on and listening and learning while I was being in my creative mode, and I was in that astrological and numerological mode. And so it was me doing it. But before I started my channel and I did all of this, I have lots of playlists full of hundreds of videos with other astrologers on my channel. I just have them private because this is what I used to do before I decided, hey, this is my time for me to start doing my thing. I have hundreds of videos, maybe thousands of other astrologers doing their thing. And so, yes, I definitely have spent time listening and learning. I just knew that I could do what I could do because I'm me. So, yeah. Pluto's at 0 degrees of Aquarius, and you know, we're kind of having to have an open mind about things. You're going to be forced to have an open mind about things, and you're going to have to be forced out of that survival mode that Pluto and Scorpio had put us in. And I speak on that specifically because this is the square to Pluto and Scorpio, and so this is where we're coming into that. Pluto and Leo people that are way older are having this opposition, so this is very relevant to them too. And for Pluto and Libra people, they're going to have Pluto trine to their Pluto at some point in this. So this is like a confirmation of the changes that you've made and how far you've come, and it'll be awesome for you. But for the people that have Pluto and Scorpio, and for the people that endured that generation now, we're coming into this square with this. And so this is reaching a level of maturity where you have to get out of some of those toxic behaviors that you established when you were younger and all of that survival mode that you put yourself into. You got to of got to start thinking about everybody and thinking about the effects that your actions have on the collective and on the world, and what can you do to make the world a better place. And that always starts with you being a better person. And so being willing to work on you is the best thing that you can do to help the collective. And so it's just about making positive changes and looking towards progress. But sometimes in order for us to see true progress, there are things that were upheld previously that have to be destroyed. And so that's also a process that we're going through. The process of destroying old outdated beliefs and old outdated systems and creating and revolutionizing things now. And so Pluto in Aquarius is a revolutionary energy, but you know, the last time Pluto was in Aquarius was during the Revolutionary War, when the United States of America, which has been a superpower up until this point, was created. And so right now we're seeing a time of reckoning for the United States of America. We're seeing a time of change in the world. And so we are in very revolutionary times. And there's no telling what's going to happen from this, because it is Aquarius. So ultimately this will be something unpredictable. Hold up, I got to stand up real fast. All right, we're good. But yeah, there's that. And then what else do we got? Oh, Chiron. Chiron's still at 19 degrees of Aries. Chiron is still retrograde until the 29th. And so that's just ultimately about accountability, and the accountability that you need to hold yourself in about everything. And you know, that means when you're aware that there's an issue, when you're aware of a behavior, when you're aware something's a problem, when you're aware that a person is abusing you, or aware that a person is taking advantage of you, when you're aware a situation is outdated, you're then accountable for making that change. And so these are things that are going to get brought into your awareness during this retrograde. You're going to become aware of something being a problem. You're going to be aware of a person doing you wrong. You're going to be aware of a situation being outdated. You're going to be aware of a situation that you yourself might need to grow in. And once you're aware, you're then accountable for taking action. And so as we progress and Chiron gets ready to station direct, hey, now it's time to start working on that stuff. So let's just go for there. The Black Moon Lilith is exactly opposite to Chiron. This is where it's interesting, because now the shadow is really opposing Chiron. And this is not something that happens very often, but it is something that is very important, because people's own codependent tendencies gets in the way of shit sometimes. Like, you're so caught up in trying to please other people and trying to appease them, and you're trying to avoid conflicts with other people, that you start moving dishonestly, and that ends up complicating things. You're always sugarcoating shit, and when you're always sugarcoating shit, it means that you're never able to face things assertively. And so with this right here, it's just like understanding that what you have to do is assert yourself up front as diplomatically as possible. And then when you look at this other axis of the nodes of the nodes, this is at 2 degrees of Aries and Libra, so it's also on that same type of vibe, you know. It's like, look, with the North Node at 2 degrees of Aries, you got to do what's right for you, regardless of what anybody else thinks about it or whether they approve or not. And it is what it is. Sometimes you just got to be action-oriented in your approach to life. You can't think about it. You can't worry about it. You can't sit around and wait for somebody to make the decision for you. You got to do you. Pop your shit. Now, Vanessa Marie, you said you're curious about the difference between a direct Chiron and a retrograde Chiron. Here's what I would say for a person in their natal chart with a direct Chiron or a retrograde Chiron. In certain situations with the direct Chiron, it's circumstances in life, it's people, you know what I mean? It's life, it's situations, it's stuff that happened to you that made you like that. In the retrograde Chiron, sometimes it's you that's the issue, and sometimes you need to learn to confront that issue within yourself, not an issue in life, not, you know, it's understanding that you are a part of that. And so I think the retrograde also makes it turns that energy inward. And so that's what I would give as my professional determination or interpretation of that. And so, yeah, that's how that is. Hold up, I gotta stand up again. But yeah. I don't know if I'm supposed to be encouraged or confused. I think you just take it because my hat. And people get so caught up in this culture that's like, oh, you got to be this. You got to look like this. You're trying to be this. No, sometimes this is just how people are naturally. So, yeah. As far as the numerology, we're in a 4 today. It's funny that we're in 0 degrees Capricorn. We got the moon in Virgo. So we're definitely in some earth energy. It's a 4, it's a 13-4, so there's a karmic debt. You can't waste this today. You know, you're only going to make things harder for yourself if you procrastinate or you waste the chance that you have to work on things or to build something today. And so this is just a day where you got to grind. You know, the weekend is coming, but today's one of those days where the hard work that you put in today will pay off for who knows how long. So put the fucking work in, do what you got to do. Also, make sure that you're taking care of business today. And sometimes that means also do whatever you need to do to make sure you're okay. Healthcare, things like that. Go to the doctor, set up you a doctor's appointment. Do whatever you need to get yourself running efficiently so that you can be the most productive person that you can be. And understand this is about laying a firm foundation. And when you look at the 4, you have to understand the 4 is about stability and it's about results. And so today is a great day for you to just get things organized, get your shit together, get yourself right. All right? We're in that 4 vibration. What about a 5 vibration? You said a 5 vibration is unpredictability. It's change. A 5 means change and unpredictability, freedom, those type of things. It's like if a 4 is Capricorn energy, the 5 would be Aquarius energy. And I'm not saying that's exactly what it is. The 4 is actually just, to me, Earth energy. But yeah. You did. So, are y'all ready to get into the price list? Top 5 most controlling placements in astrology. It's been one of those manic sessions today, but that's all right. So what about the sun 10 degrees Capricorn? The sun 10 degrees Capricorn, that's Capricorn. I mean, what do you mean? That's somebody who's ambitious and serious about their shit, and that's somebody who works hard. You know, that 10th degree is going to have a certain Capricorn connotation to it in certain instances. But more than anything else, I just think that 10th degree is ambitious and serious and is prominent. And so that's also awesome. But yeah, that's what I meant, family. Hey, I need a few more of y'all to hit that like button. I need y'all to hit that super sticker, that super thanks, or that super chat. And I'm letting you know I might come one time next week, and then I ain't coming until the New Year's. So we're going to come maybe one time next week, and then I'm taking a break for family, for Christmas vacation, and then we'll be back right before or right around the New Year. So we might take 1 week off after we come one more time. So I don't want y'all to come looking for me because y'all can't find me. I'm gonna be busy. I'm gonna be busy. Hold on, I gotta adjust myself. But yeah, that's where we at with this. Now, let's get into the price list. Top 5 most controlling placements in astrology. Are yours on there? And we do have one honorable mention before we get into the actual top 5. And the only honorable mention on the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 most controlling placements in astrology is Venus in Scorpio. And we know why. Because they're fucking insecure and they have trust issues. They love so intensely that it's hard for them to trust. And they want to know everything about their partner. They want to know their partner's every move. They want to watch them. They want, you know what I'm saying? I got cameras on me right now as we speak. You understand? Like Venus in Scorpio, like they want to control things because they don't trust and they're worried about it. And they themselves have some shady behaviors that they worry that other people might be exhibiting. And so what they do is they try to do everything they can to control the situation to where their partner won't possibly be able to do anything to fuck them over, or that if their partner does fuck them over, they'll be able to see it. Like Venus and Scorpio, within their relationships, they're very controlling, but even in jobs and other stuff, they're very suspicious of other people. Not in the same way as Mercury and Scorpio, but because they care. And so there's just something with them to where they want to control that, because if their feelings get involved in the situation, they know that shit is going to get messy. So they try to control every variable possible to keep their feelings from getting involved, because once their feelings are involved, things do get interesting and sometimes they get really toxic and messed up. And so, I mean, that's pretty plain and simple right there. The only honorable mention on our list is Venus in Scorpio. And they have trust issues, so they're controlling. And it's just about them requiring their partner to be vulnerable and authentic and open and transparent, but they themselves usually aren't willing to contribute in that same way. And it's like they want to know your every move. They want to be able to see what you're doing. They want to be able to go through your devices. They want to be able to just have complete access to everything about you. But it's not because they love you. It's just like they love you that much, and they're just so, it's because they're worried that you're gonna fuck over them, because they feel like every time that they get their love involved, somebody fucks over them. So yeah. Hey, somebody excuse this racist from our chat, please. Mods. Rainbow Tree needs to get the fuck out of here. Yeah. But yeah, that's all Venus and Scorpio. Now let's get into the actual top 5. Yeah, you did good, Dougie. Natural Mystique, we know you crazy. I knew it. And you know you controlling. In your relationships, you might not mean to be, but you're controlling because you're worried that your partner, like you just want complete access. You want to know everything about them. And you try to excuse by saying, I just love them so much, but really because you don't trust them enough. It's not because you love them so much. It's because you don't trust them enough. And so you want complete access to everything they do. You're constantly investigating, and you also want to control their moves. You want to control where they go and who they're around, because you don't want to give them any opportunity to fuck over you. Because you know if you're given the opportunity, you might want to fuck over somebody. It's because you know the darkness that's inside of you. So you're like, man, don't play with me like that. Like, I know how people play with people, and I know how I could play with you. So don't play with me like that. Even though they're not thinking like that. Not everybody thinks like that. That's why Venus and Scorpio thinks like, I know how people play with people, and I could, you don't know what I could do to you. So don't play with me like that, because I love you, and I wouldn't do you like that unless you did me like that. That's exactly what they do. Like, I love you, don't, you know what I'm saying? I know how people could do people. I know how crazy it is. So don't do me like that. But it's also because they know how crazy they are. Like, shut up. But yeah. And they're only an honorable mention because they're just, they just don't trust. And that's so they really just require a lot of vulnerability and openness and transparency. And they also try to control the variables so that they don't get fucked over. And it's not about controlling the person, it's controlling the variables for them. Like I think people just need to understand that. That's why they're only an honorable mention. It's like I'm controlling the variables because I don't want this to end up hurting me. Because I like it. I like to hurt a little bit. I know that keeps sounding crazy, but it is crazy. Like I don't want it to hurt me, but because I like to hurt a little bit, and once it starts hurting me, I'll start liking it. It's like I don't want that shit to start hurting me because then I'll start liking it, and then I'll be fucked up. Like I know, and then I'll be crazy, and we'll be crazy, and then it'll get crazy, and then. But the whole time they were already crazy. They were already crazy. What's crazy is Venus in Scorpio is the crazy one, and Mercury in Scorpio isn't. Mercury in Scorpio they have their things where they're investigative, and like it can make people uncomfortable because they are so nosy and they are so probing. And sometimes you can't tell, but sometimes you can tell. Like, man, this motherfucker makes me kind of like, who do you work for? Yeah, you dig. But with Venus in Scorpio, it's like once them feelings are involved, they're a little tricky to deal with. And they say people need to be straight up, but they want to force you to be straight up. See, that's why they're on the list, but they're only honorable mention. But people need to be straight up, but if they don't want people to be straight up, they're gonna make you be straight up because they're gonna be investigating you and they're gonna know everything you do. And so they're gonna be controlling, they're gonna be trying to influence where you go, the decisions you make, the people you hang out with, and if they can't do that, then they'll be stalking you and studying you. Stalking you and studying you. Yeah, I know you. You fucking freaks. Dang, hold on. I've had a lot of fucking, okay, there we go. I've had a lot of notifications since we've been here. I'm trying to clear out these notifications. I got some memes that are going hard in a bitch in the motherfucking game, cuz. Now, no, Venus in Scorpio. If Venus in Scorpio is on the list, Venus in the 8th house wouldn't be on the list. And there's Venus in Aquarius in the 8th house wouldn't be controlling. Venus in Gemini in the 8th house or Sagittarius in the 8th house wouldn't be controlling. It might be freaky, they might be, but they wouldn't be controlling. And so the sign changes it. It's the sign that's the energy. It's the house where it plays out. So I would not say the house on this one. Just because that's probably not the smartest thing to do. But yeah, let's get into the actual top 5. We gotta go after this. I gotta go make my son some stuffed pork chops. And then, like I said, I'll be here Monday. Wednesday is Christmas, right? Is Wednesday Christmas? Yeah, Wednesday's Christmas. So I won't be here until maybe Friday. I might come the 27th. All right, we might come Monday and Friday. But my kids will be here. It's just hard. Well, I do it in the summertime when they're here. But yeah, Monday and Friday will probably come next week. Now, let's get into the actual top 5. Okay. Now, there actually is going to be, I forgot there is some house placements on here. There's one. Now, y'all are going to understand why, and y'all are going to see why, because y'all have probably dealt with somebody like this. Now, number 5 on the list of the price list, top 5 most controlling placements. Mars in the 7th house. And so, I know we see the 7th house and our first thought goes to personal relationships, right? But the 7th house is also about business. And so when Mars is in a person's 7th house, their personal relationships, their business partnerships, no matter what, those one-on-one interactions with people bring out their most aggressive or their most assertive side, right? And they might not be like that in other areas of life. But in relationships, they have to be the one in control. Even if it's Aquarius or Virgo, when Mars is in the 7th house, there's going to be some issues where that person is going to be way more aggressive or assertive in their relationship than they are in other stuff. And so it's going to seem like, man, this motherfucker be tripping on me when they don't trip on anything or anybody else. You know? Mars in the 7th house is a motherfucker. And their relationships can be just assertive and spicy, or they can be abusive and or manipulative. There's different ways that can play out, but there's definitely going to be this thing where there's some, when Mars is in the 7th house, there's going to be some things where not only do you see your most aggressive or assertive side coming out in your relationships, you see that with people. And so y'all get into it a lot. And so there's a lot of jockeying for position within your relationships, to where one person is trying to control the behavior or be the boss or be in the forefront of the relationship, and the other person isn't. And so yeah, Nelson Diaz, you said any advice for a 24-year-old, you're a producer and a student. Just keep going. It might seem like it right now if things aren't ideal, but you just got to keep going. And you know, I know that sounds just like very ordinary, but that's the best thing anybody could have ever told me about anything. Just keep fucking go, keep fucking pushing. It's gonna get better. You're 24 years old. You're a grown person, but you're still a kid, especially as a male at 24 years old. And so it's just like, hey, bro, keep growing, keep staying consistent, keep grinding, and just, you're going to eventually start to mature into the man that you're supposed to be. But just understand that it's not about a destination. It's about the purpose. And so live a purposeful life. And so every day is about being better than yesterday. It's about growing. It's about learning. It's about every beat you make or whatever you composing and producing. It's about that one, this one being better than the last one, and the next one being better than this one. And if you're cranking them out like this, then that's always beautiful. It's like, you know what? Everything I do, I'm pushing the envelope a little bit more and more. And everything I do, I'm making myself more and more in position to grow and mature and culture my gifts. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, Mars in the 7th house, it's just like that person who has Mars in the 7th house is gonna have some conflict within their relationships, and sometimes they're gonna try to do stuff to influence their partner's behavior, and sometimes it's going to be aggressive or assertive, or sometimes it's because their partner is aggressive or assertive and they want to temper that behavior from their partner. But there's something there in that Mars in the 7th house that does present a conflicted or assertive or controlling or abusive relationship. So yeah. Number 5. Fever in the Funk house was Mars in the 7th house. Now, let's get to number 4. Number 4, Cuatro. Number 4 on the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 most controlling placements in astrology. This is Mars in Cancer. And really what's interesting about Mars in Cancer is it's almost inadvertent. You know? It's their emotional responses, their sensitivity, and the fact that they take everything personally that ends up controlling the situation with them. It's not even about them controlling other people. It's their emotions and the fact that their emotions have to be compensated for in everything that ends up controlling situations. You know? And it's like they're so defensive that things have to be done a certain way to accommodate their emotions so that they don't freak out or so that they don't, you know, start tripping or whining or crying or pouting and nothing gets done, you know? And they have this passive aggressive way of controlling things with their emotions with Mars in Cancer. Like they have this really passive aggressive way of controlling things because they're controlling it because they know that people have to accommodate their emotions and people don't want to deal with them being facetious about things or them whining about things or them being. And so with Mars in Cancer, they also, when they lose their temper, like they get out of control. And so people have to compensate for that fucking emotional outburst and those dynamic emotions of theirs. And so it's just like that they're controlling. They're controlling and they're emotionally manipulative. Plain and simple. And they do it, but, you know, without it being done on purpose. Sometimes you know how they are. They might be completely unaware of it in their own way, but you know how they are and people know how they are. So people always are having to tiptoe around them and do what they want because they know that that person is going to have an emotional response to things not going their way. And so those feelings become very volatile and they become something that can really be influential upon a situation or influential upon a relationship. And it's also where in certain cases they do know how sensitive they are. And so they're always like being very controlling about their partner because they know they take everything personally and they just be tripping about everything. So yeah. A lot of stuff is mental health. But these days, people call everything mental health. So I'm not one of those, and I'm not discrediting what you say, Sharon Little, because for those of y'all that are watching this possibly, Sharon Little in the chat is saying that seems like mental health to you, and it is, but it's also not. These days, everything is mental health, and everybody has some type of disorder and some type of illness in this. Hey, no, you're just an emotional fucking person, and you're sensitive to everything. Mars and Cancer people are fucking have emotional responses, and they're sensitive. Even worse than Cancer suns or Cancer moons. It's like their emotions are very dynamic, and they take everything personally. And because they take everything personally, and they're so sensitive, and their emotions are so dynamic that you have to accommodate their emotions in every situation, and it is very controlling. And so they're both consciously controlling and inadvertently controlling, because sometimes people just let them control the situation because they would rather not deal with those emotional outbursts or those emotional responses. And then in other times, they themselves know that people don't want to deal with that type of shit, and so they're very controlling of situations and then they also try to control situations because they don't want anything to bother them or fuck with them and their sensitivities. So yeah. Some of y'all be forgetting I play so much, and when we play and talk shit so much, y'all forget that I'm one of the best at this. Like, I'm one of the best. And it's not even me tooting my own horn. I need some of y'all to hit that super sticker, that super thanks, or that super chat. I also need y'all to go check out Blue Aliens. That's www.BLU3ALIENS.com. All right? They got some awesome astrology shirts. They got crystals. They got THCA gummies. They got psilocybin or fungus, if you know what I'm talking about. And if you use my promo code PrIcElEs, you'll get 15% off of any order over $15, and you'll get free shipping, because that's on me. So click on the link that's pinned right there in the chat. Go check out Blue Aliens. Like immediately. Now, back to the astrology. Mars in Cancer was number 4. Number 3 on the list of the price list, top 5 most controlling placements in astrology. This is Virgo moon. Oh man. And when it comes to being controlling with Virgo moons, it kind of just centers around the fact that Virgo moons are incredibly particular about everything. And they notice everything. And they're detail oriented. And they're sensitive as fuck. My sister's a Virgo moon. My son is a Virgo moon. I know it. Like, they're so fucking sensitive. And they have biological responses to sensitive shit. If stuff is bothering them, their hair will start falling out. They'll start getting sick. Their stomach be fucked up. So, like, because of that shit, like, they are very particular about the way things have to be done. Things have to be a certain way for them to be okay. And so a lot of them get to this point where they feel like they have to micromanage everything in order for them to operate healthily. And so that's what they do, is micromanage everything. They micromanage their lives. They try to micromanage your life because for them, that's what works. And so this little bitty stuff, it's some little bitty detail-oriented stuff that could really fuck them up. So they feel like they got to make sure that you don't do that too. And then they also just like things a certain way. It really boils down to how particular they are and how picky they are, and for things having to be perfect for them to be okay. And so with all of that shit right there, it just kind of like control situations. It's like, oh man, and they do it consciously too, but it's just because they're so picky in particular and they like things to be a certain way. And sometimes they like the same stuff over and over and over again. If that works, why change it? And this and this. And so a lot of times it can be really frustrated, but it can almost be obsessive and compulsive. It's just like, man, like, you're so fucking controlling over everything because everything has to be in your way, has to be a controlled environment. You want to control all the key variables of everything, and all the details of everything have to be to your understanding and your liking, and that just makes shit fucked up. You said, so a Virgo moon doesn't have flexibility. I mean, they can. But I mean, really, plain and simple, like, they just like nitpick about everything. They want to micromanage everything, with whether it's with them or their partners or their kids. It's like they're micromanaging everything. They're very controlling because they don't understand that not everybody's like them. Everything doesn't have to be perfect for everybody to be okay. Some people are just cool, but for them, they can't just be cool. It's little bitty stuff. And like I said, I'm raising a Virgo moon. I see that with my son. I see that with my sister too. Like little bitty stuff. And she'll help anybody. She'll do whatever she can. And she's not a bad person, but she is very controlling in her relationships. My son is very inadvertently, because he's a kid, controlling of our household because of how particular and how things have to be a certain way. So we can't have food a certain way, or we can't, his food has to be cut a certain way, or this and this, because it is very controlling because you're so particular. And in order for you to do something, it has to be perfect to your liking. And so a lot of the times that is fucking very controlling. And then when you have people that are like Virgo moons on jobs, they want things to be done through a certain procedural approach in a certain way. And so if you don't do it that way, there's going to be constant trouble. There's going to be constant nitpicking. And so they are a stickler for procedure. And so, yeah, that's the way it is. Hey, somebody dismiss him. Everybody ain't gonna play with you, player. I ain't. Can't do it. But yeah, that's kind of how it is with Virgo moons. That's why they're number 3. Now, number 2 on the list of the price list, top 5 most controlling placements. Does anybody want to guess? Does anybody want to guess what number 2 is? If you guess, I'll give you half price on a reading. If you get it right. But you have to think of all of the possible placements. All of the possible placements. That's where you're going to get thrown off. Think of all the possibilities. Hey, if y'all want to send me something for Christmas, I mean, I know Christmas ain't here yet, but y'all might have it today. Y'all might not have it tomorrow because we're close to the 15th. So if y'all got it today, send me my Christmas presents to CashApp right there, pinning the link right there. Sharon Little said Cancer somewhere. Capricorn Sun. No. There can be some, but they could be in the honorable mentions. Number 2 on the list of the price list, top 5 most controlling placements. Scorpio suns. Hey, y'all should know this is about power, influence, intensity, and plain and simple. The life of a Scorpio sun has to be centered around control, controlling themselves, controlling other people, because whether it be them having to control themselves, their sexual nature, their outrage, or their darkness, or them using those same things to manipulate and control other people, that's a part of the mix. Scorpio suns. We should know that. Y'all know. And what if you got somebody who has a Scorpio sun, Virgo moon like Diddy? Like Diddy. Tria Wallace, what's up? Scorpio sun. Y'all know Scorpio suns are like they can be very manipulative and very controlling. And I'm not thinking about just relationships. See, we're thinking about relationships all the time. But you have to think about it in the world. Think about within the world. Leos can be too, but Scorpios, they're manipulatively controlling. They want to have power over you. It's about power. You understand? It's about making you do what I want. Making you do what I want. Tria Wallace said Scorpio, Venus, Mercury, Venus and Scorpio, pardon me, Mercury and Scorpio, 5th house. Oh, you a freak. You real freaky. But yeah, number 2 is Scorpio suns. Their life has to be centered around control. Controlling themselves or using those same things that they're having to control themselves with to control other people. And you know, we play a lot, but one of the most real things I ever saw about Diddy in that situation that I actually saw myself repeating was I saw a meme that had a picture of Diddy and it said, this is what happens when a Scorpio gets too much money. Not only is they freaky, but like this motherfucker gets tyrannical. When a Scorpio gets too much money, too much power, too much influence, they get fucking tyrannical. They get fucking dictatorial. They control everything. You can't hide from them either. They want complete access to everything about you. They want to control your moves. They want to control your mind. See, Scorpios will control your mind. I'm going to fuck with you. I'm going to put this dick on you, put this thing on you, and control your motherfucking mind. I'm going to fuck over you. I'm going to have you dependent on me. This is what I'm going to do. They're devious in that way. I'll control your actions. I know I can find out your triggers. Now I'll control your actions. Now I know what makes you mad. Now I know what makes you scared. Now I know what makes you turned on. Now I know how to make you give me stuff. I know how to do all of this stuff. And so once I got you like that, because I know your psychology, I can control you. Now I can find ways to manipulate you without you even noticing. Now I can have ways that make you insist that I have your resources. Now I can have ways that make you do whatever I want without me even having to tell you because you want to please me. And so there are things that Scorpio suns can do that other motherfuckers can't do that. So Scorpio suns, Yes, Leos could have been on here. Yes, Cancers could have been on here, but they would have been honorable mentions, and I can only do 2. And Venus and Scorpio couldn't have been left off because if you've been in a relationship with one, like I am in one, you would know. My son is a Venus and Scorpio. My daughter are Venus and Scorpios. I know how to go. I just talked to my daughter who it's her birthday here recently, or I didn't talk to her. Her mom talked to her, and I was right there. But she just talked about the stuff she's done or she does, you know, to catch her boyfriend up or to prevent him from cheating. And so there's that. Scorpio suns. Now, number 1. You already said it. We couldn't have a list without them. It's the most controlling. Number 1 on the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 most controlling placements. Capricorn suns. And I mean, man, when it comes to Capricorn suns, this has a lot of layers to it. I know because I deal with one and I'm raising one. But part of it is because Capricorn suns have always had to be the adult in the room. They've kind of had to be the person in control because everybody else would fuck it up. From a very early age, they've had to be the one in control of things because everybody else would fuck it up. Their parents will fuck it up. Their grandparents fuck it up. Their friends, like they couldn't do that. They had to be in control of the situation. They had to be in leadership because if they didn't, this shit would be fucked up. You know? And so a lot of the times from that situation, they feel like if they're not the one in charge, things won't go right. If they're not the one calling the shots, doing what it do, things won't go right. My wife said that to me specifically one time. We were sitting there and we were talking and she just had a moment of clarity and she just chuckled a little bit and she said, babe, I do have to admit I am a little bit controlling. And I said, a little bit. And she said, yeah. She's like, but I just feel like if I don't take care of it, it won't get done right. And I'm saying, like, damn, what's that mean you think about me? And she's like, it's not, it was before you. It's come way before you. It's always been like that. Like, my mom ain't shit. I didn't have a dad. So I just feel like if I don't do it, if I don't be in control of it, if I'm not overseeing it or doing it, and it's not done the way I want it to be done, which is the hard way, then it's not going to get done right. And like, here's the thing, but also on her job, right? She's got a promotion to where she's the lead nurse at her doctor's office. There's a few nurses that work there, but she's the lead, right? And then that she's also in charge. When she's the lead nurse, she's also, you know, without her being the practitioner, she's not a nurse practitioner, she's an LVN. She also is in charge of scheduling for the other nurses and the MAs, and she's also overseeing all the medical assistants too. And so I guarantee her predecessor that she got fired and took her job wasn't in there fucking micromanaging everything. Like, she's been in here after work every night, typing up schedulers, redoing scheduling. She's on the phone with them every night. Like, man, I was like, I got onto her. I was like, man, you gotta leave. You shouldn't have took that position. You need to leave that shit at work. Like, do not bring that shit home. I had to tell her, like, don't bring that shit home anymore. Like, I love you, I understand what you got, but don't bring that shit home anymore. Like, you don't have to. Like, she's like, well, no, you don't. No, you don't. But once you're in control, like, that shit you're a Capricorn, that shit started getting to your head immediately. Like, now you're a fucking tyrant in that bitch, and nobody's gonna want to work with you. I know I would not want you to be my boss at all. But man, and another thing is Capricorns don't want anybody to take advantage of them. They feel like people try to take advantage of them and people try to exploit their vulnerabilities. And the only way for them to alleviate that possibility is for them to be in charge. And so they hate vulnerability and weakness. And if you're not in charge, you're vulnerable because you're always, somebody can take your spot, somebody can replace you. And so you could be ambitious and you can want somebody else's spot, but that's how you think. You start to think like that. Is you're like, man, I would take that bitch's spot. I'm you know, this is about advancement. This is about promotion. This is about ambition. And so you get into a spot, you think other people are like that. So you're going to control every variable possible to make sure that you yourself are in a position of authority. And so that's what the Capricorn suns do in their mix. And that's why Capricorn suns are number 1 on the list. And they're just controlling motherfuckers. Mean and controlling ass people. Number 1 on the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 most controlling placements in astrology was Capricorn suns. Now let's do a brief run through and then we're out. We've been here for 3 hours. I gotta go. All right. I gotta go. And so now the only honorable mention we had was Venus in Scorpio. Venus in Scorpio is controlling with other people because they have trust issues. And so they want to try to control every variable possible to keep the other person from fucking them over. They want to know everything about their partner's every move. They want to be able to have complete access to their partner because that helps them have more trust in what's going on. That way I know you're not fucking over me and you're not doing me dirty. All right. And so for them in their mind, they want to try to control every variable possible to keep their partner from being able to hurt their feelings because they are sensitive and they do care. And they know they kind of like it a little bit when their feelings get hurt. And that just goes down a very toxic road. As soon as you start doing that shit, it turns into a really dirty game. That shit gets really messy. And they like it a little bit. And so they're scared of what that could become because it gets taken to extremes. And so you do have to be very conscious with that. All right. And I love y'all, but I've been here as long as I can be for free. And then the number 5 on our list was Mars in the 7th house. And like I said, I know we see the 7th house and we think only about personal relationships and marriage, but you also have to look at the 7th house about business partnerships. And so when Mars is in the 7th house, people's relationships and business partnerships are going to bring out the most aggressive or assertive side of them, and vice versa. It's going to do the same thing for their partners. And so sometimes it's like there's a struggle for control and there's this jockeying for position that happens. And there might be open conflict or abuse or manipulation that's going involved for one person to be able to stay in control of that relationship. And so that happens in the mix with that. And then number 4 was Mars in Cancer. And you know what's interesting about that one is it's almost inadvertent. You know, it's their emotional responses, their sensitivity, and the fact that they take everything personally that actually ends up controlling situations even when they don't mean to. You know, they're very defensive, and they have to see things done a certain way to be to accommodate their emotions. Not to be accountable, but to accommodate their emotions. And they just have this passive aggressive way of controlling things because people know how sensitive they are. They know how sensitive they are, so they can control people in situations because people don't want to deal with their emotional responses to everything. And they know you're going to act stupid when you get emotional about something. And so it's more or less like, oh, we're going to do things your way. And then number 3 was Virgo moon. And that just centers around the fact that they're incredibly particular about everything. They're detail oriented. They notice everything and they're very sensitive. And they have biological responses to sensitive irritants. And so things have to be a certain way for them to be okay. And a lot of them kind of get to a point where they feel like they have to micromanage everything to ensure that they can operate healthily. And if they're in a relationship, they're going to micromanage their relationship because all those key details are the things that they feel like is going to make this relationship work. If they're at a job, they're going to micromanage everything at their job because they want everything to work efficiently. And they just really have this perfectionist view towards things that can make things complicated and can make them insufferable to deal with. And then number 2 on the list was Scorpio suns. And that's just about power. They have a lot of power. They have a lot of influence. They have a lot of intensity. And their life has to be centered around control because it's about them controlling themselves, them controlling their sexual nature, them controlling their outrage, them controlling the darkness that lives inside of them because that shit can take over. And so they know that they have to use those same things to control other people, right? They're not the type of people that ever want to be a victim. And then number 1 was Capricorn sun, and that's just a lot of layers to it. Part of it is because they've always had to be the adult in the room, and then the other part is because they don't think anything will go right if they're not the one in charge. And so you also have to look at the fact that they don't ever want anybody to take advantage of them. And so the only way for them to be in a position where nobody can take advantage of them is for them to be in control. And if they're in control of that person or that situation, then it's very hard for a person to take over. And they kind of have a dog-eat-dog mentality a little bit. And so they want to be the one in control because they don't want anybody to be able to take anything away from them or for them not to get what they deserve or what should be coming to them. And so it's just like, hey, I'm going to make sure that I control everything that I can to make sure that I'm the one that's in the position of leadership, or I'm the one that's in the position to call the shots. So yeah, that's our price list top 5. Does anybody have anything they need to say before we go? I've said enough. I don't know. My mouth is fucked. I don't know. It's because Mercury is square to or Mars is coming back into a conjunction with my Mercury. But yeah, I've had way too many verbal mess ups today. So I'm not happy with that. But it is what it is. And I've been here as long as I can be for free. And Christmas is coming up. So I love y'all, but I gotta go. I appreciate your love and support. If any of y'all are interested in any astrological readings whatsoever, don't ever get at me in my comments. Get at me in my email, which is mr.turner1300@gmail.com. We should be here Monday, and we'll be here Friday. All right, next week. But we will not be here any other times within that week. We're going to have a few Christmas days that we're just going to spend some time with family and do our stuff. And so really we only missed one scheduled session. I came on Tuesday of this week, and I'm probably going to start coming on Tuesdays and talking numerology here more. But yeah, that's where we're leaving at. I appreciate your love and support, for real. Yeah, shoot some business this way. If y'all need to get some readings for your family, you need to get some readings for your family, you need to get you a numerology reading for you. Y'all need to come get some business from me immediately. You should have got some for some Christmas presents for people. You dig? But either way, I appreciate your love and support for all of y'all that were here today. This has been a pretty cool session. If you're interested in any of my services, just send me an email and I'll send you a price list with my services. I appreciate the love, Sharon Little, the CashApp love. I appreciate that CashApp love. That meant a lot. At least somebody showed that they appreciate me. Because it's hard. But yeah, we'll talk soon. Send me an email.